Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing? Hope everybody's doing well today. Thank you for coming in and joining my stream on this fabulous Sunday morning. Want to do a couple of shouts out really quick, have some people come in, and then we'll get right into discussing key dates. There's a couple pieces of information I want to share with you ahead of time, but we'll be talking about key dates, some strategies, some of the top tips I found, some things that I've done personally in my collections to try and reduce the amount of money that I'm spending, but still keep fairly decent grade coins. Um, Making smarter financial decisions, but still being able to collect coins that have really good eye appeal. So we'll talk about some of those strategies, talk about some of the coins. I've got a few coins up here that we'll be able to look at, but there's a couple of things that I want to do. Obviously, you can see right now it's just me. Eric Beyer, who normally is on my channel every morning, is not going to be able to be here. He is doing some storm prep, and so, for those of you who aren't aware exactly what's going on with storm prep, there is a tropical storm going on, and that tropical storm is um, Milton, I believe is the name of it. Why did my screen just go south? There we go. All right, so we're going to pull this over here, and I'll share this with you. Um, So we got Milton coming across. So for those of you who don't know, we got a storm brewing down here in the Gulf of Mexico, and that's going to be heading across Florida. So we have people like Darren Ottman, who are going to be doing storm prep right now, and so they're not going to be in the chat. Eric Byers actually doing some storm prep right now, because it's expected to make landfall sometime Wednesday night, Thursday morning. And so should be a pretty fast moving storm. We're hoping that it goes a little bit more southerly and doesn't swing up north and hit into the Carolinas. When you're looking at the water vapor, you can see that the storm right here is really kind of growing in. So I'm where the number one is, right here. Oh, okay. So yeah, again, this is going to be coming across. So again, if you are in the area, again, I want to make sure that the viewers understand your safety is way more paramount than watching the stream. Go take care of your stuff. Make sure you're locking things down. Do what you need to do. You guys have been inundated. I'm praying that this storm takes a little bit more southerly approach, and kind of comes across down here, to alleviate the potential of any curvature back up north. Um, South Carolina, North Carolina, uh, they don't need any more rain. So we need that to stay down south and protect our buddies like Jack Gallman, who is in Marion, North Carolina. We want to make sure that they're not getting into that rain. So I would love to see this storm go and take a little bit more southerly route. But again, the prime thing would be for this storm to take a left turn, Clyde, and head right here into Texas. We need the water badly. So Storm, if you're listening and you wanna deviate your course, then come on in and say hi. All right. Well, enough of that. Let's go ahead and get into my normal how do you do's. Steve looking for silver is up early. I guarantee you Oregon's not awake yet. Jackalope Power Masters here. Thanks for being a channel member. Rockzilla is here. Mad Stacker. See, we were talking about people who were early to rise. Mad Stacker's another one. Good to see you, brother. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for being a great supporter of the channel. I appreciate you. Darren Ottman is here. He is a channel member. He is prepping himself. We have Siren Mod Extraordinaire coming in and covering both sides of the stream. She's primarily looking at the love side. We do not need the rain in Louisiana. Yeah, I know you guys don't need the rain. See, we need that to come across like Brownsville, Texas, and we need that to skirt up around the left side of San Antonio and swing all the way up into like Lubbock and up into the Panhandle. Uh, that's where we need the water. We don't need the water in Houston. We don't need the water in Dallas. We need the water to the left. But unfortunately, everything that's come into the Gulf has taken a right turn and either smacked straight into Houston or jumped over into the Florida realm. So hopefully, we can get some get some clear skies and let the East Coast dry out a little bit because they've been inundated. So it's been pretty rough. See, Happy Chappy, good morning, brother. Him and I have been texting since about 7 a.m. this morning, talking about a very nice 19 or 1879 S Morgan dollar. Mad Stackers, a member of the Planchette. Thank you so much for becoming a member, channel member, brother. I certainly appreciate you. Um, I need you to email me your address. I've got a couple things. I got a couple stickers I need to send you, by the way. Um, Aunt is in the house. Good morning, Aunt. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Thank you for being here. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get into this. So today's topic came at a request. Now, we've talked about a couple of these coins before. Ronald Stewart, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. Um, we've talked about a number of these before, and we've seen a couple of these coins. The first coin that you're going to see, we've talked about it a lot. I think it's one of the most affordable key date coins that you can find. If you're looking at collecting, a lot of people don't like to collect nickels. Hint, hint, wink, wink. I should give you a tip about what the first coin is. But again, it's one of those things where let's talk about some strategies. We've talked about some of this before, but again, I continue to hear the question from people and have people ask me, what I really want to start, putting a nice book together, or I really want to start making sure that we're doing the things that need to be done in like creating a typeset book or things like that. So what would you suggest? What are some of the things? So I'm going to go over some of those elements. Now, this is my opinion, okay? I can't tell you what is best for you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you my middle of the road based off of my financial ability, based off of the stuff that I'm good collecting and doing some research. Excuse me, doing some research and understanding the general price points of some of the coins that are out there. And that's extremely important, right? You need to stay within your budget. So the first coin that I'm going to do, I'm going to throw this over here and I'm going to make this big because you guys don't need to see my face. And this is the 1950 Denver Jefferson nickel. Now, this is a coin that we've talked about. Hey, Big Apple, what's going on? Good morning, Mackham's Coins. Hope you're doing well, brother. Good to see you. But the 1950D is one of those coins where if you're going to put a nickel album together, there is no way. Chat is weird, like I see through. Okay, so Matt, if you want to go to the pinned and you can click on that item and you'll come over into landscape. Um, because you're in portrait mode right now, so you can click on the other side and slide on over, and then you'll be in landscape mode. There's two streams going on simultaneously. So if you want to see it to where you have chat in the normal place, just click on that link. It'll slide you on over to the other one, and then you will be in landscape mode. Likely, if you're in landscape mode, but you're on your phone and you want to see it in portrait mode, click on the pinned item, and then you'll be able to go open. Yeah, I have 2 channels open. I do that so that, people, depending upon where they're at or what they're doing, for instance, Darren Ottman's working on, trying to do some storm prep, and it may have his phone. It might be easier to look at the item because he's not gonna be chatting necessarily watching the chat, just kinda listen, watching what's going on. So it might be easy for him to view it on his phone. There are some people who like to have their iPad. Maybe they are not a big chatter, so they're able to watch it in that view. Or you can turn it sideways. Well, yeah, we know Siren, we know Mad's on the weird side, but you know how it is. So yeah, I stream in 2 different ways. One, it benefits everybody, and number two, it's just cool because there's not tons of people who stream in both and do it effectively. So I'm really trying to give people the best I can with what's available. All right, so let's go ahead and get back into this 1950. So the 1950D is definitely one of these coins that you can get in high grade for not very much money. In fact, I've got a couple of these that have full steps, full 6 steps that are MS66, MS67 for, 130, 140, 150 bucks. And it's a really good grade, especially for a nickel. And so to have full steps, to have that designation, and then to be able to have that quality of a coin. It's really nice. Now, the thing is about having a key date that's really nice is if you want to have a collection of coins, and that collection of coins is going to be fairly the same throughout the the entire collection. Let's say that you're creating a book. Maybe it's a typeset book, or maybe it's a book where you are only going to be doing um, nickel. So you got a nickel book. You're putting together a Dansco album or something like that. Look at your key dates and determine number one, if I want an AU book, am I going to be able to afford the AU key date? Okay. So I want you to take those things into consideration. That's going to be one of the things I really want you to kind of focus on and pay attention to when you're looking at kind of coordinating the build of a book. Now, sometimes you just can't buy the high grade coin. For instance, if you're going to be looking at filling a cent book, and you're going to be looking at MS-63, MS-64, MS-65, the 1909 SVDB is going to be extremely high. However, you also have to consider that there's going to be other key date elements like the 1914D, the 1931S, the 1926S. And so you're going to see people go, what the 26S? Because in high grades, that coin is very hard to find. And so you're going to want to look at the series, and you're going to want to look at how hard it is to attain that particular coin. The reason I always start out with the 1950D Jefferson nickel is because when you look at this particular coin, you can get nickels for every single year in 64, 65 for cheap. And when I'm talking about cheap, I'm talking about 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 bucks. Right, and when you're talking about key date coins, it's a really good coin to start with. It's affordable. It's something that, hey, check stacker, Mark Quahog, AZ. Thanks for coming in, folks. I appreciate you guys being channel members. Thanks so much for coming in. But again, it's one of those things where you're going to want to look at the quality and the grade. Okay, so you really want to take that into consideration for the entire album. Okay, so Frosty's tip number one, plan. Look at your stuff. And there's a lot of people that just they want to just put a book together, and that's fine. It doesn't bother them. More power to you. But if you're really looking at doing a grade, I remember the Keys were doing a Benji book, and they wanted, I think it was all like 64, 65s. And all of the Benjis were going to be 64s, 65s. And that's a pretty good album. That's a really nice Dansko album to have. And the reason I remember this is they were cracking a bunch of graded coins out in order to put into this book, which every time they did that gave me the heebie jeebies. But that's just me. But I understand the premise, and I know what they were doing, and they were committed to buying the prices or the coins at the prices that they needed to in order to attain that particular grade. So if you're going to be doing a book that is grade specific, then I want you to do the research and make sure that you're making good decisions on that. Now, you'll hear Paula talk about XFAU, right? And when she's looking at building something, those grades for her they're at that borderline, they're at that cross where they are affordable, but they're also good looking coins. That's the premise that I've been taking for my typeset book. I'm looking for XF and AU coins. Now, even in XF condition, there are some of them that are extremely pricey. Looking at the coin that I want, Steve looking for silver. Are you still here? Steve looking for silver and he sent me a little picture. He kind of rubbed it in because he knows that I love this kind of stuff. And he sent me an MS62, a photo of an MS62 um, trade dollar, or MS62 trade dollar. Now, what's cool about this particular coin is the MS62 trade dollar is an 1873. It's a key date in the trade dollars. It is a massively beautiful coin, and the price is up there. It's a fabulous coin, and if I were building a typeset book for 6263s, I would have to be willing to fork out $1,000+ for a coin in order to meet that requirement. But I can look at that coin and for five, six, 700 bucks, I can find me one that follows that XF trajectory and still have a really nice coin that has all the details, have all the luster, the stuff that I really kind of want. Um, maybe not the luster, but it has the details and it has this strike. That's good. You can see the details on the obverse and the reverse. So I have made that decision to kind of follow Paula's line with the XF and the AU. All right, so let's go ahead and get over here and let's go to the next coin. Now, the next coin, I just saw something, but I am switching presentation. So hold on just a second. Try to figure out what's going on. Oh man, what did I just do? I hate it when I do that. Rob D has just subscribed. Rob D, thank you much for subscribing. I greatly appreciate the subscription. Thank you so much. All right. So the next coin that I'm going to be going over is it's a coin you kind of look at and go, why in the world is uh, a Rosie here? 1949. Well, a 1949 Rosie is kind of the de facto key date. Um, It's a fairly limited mintage. I mean, it's when you talk about dimes, it's again, there's a ton of these out there. You can get them in good quality. So what's the big deal? Well, again, really, there's not a big deal. This is another one of those coins where you can build a really nice Rosie book for some decent prices. Now, you might spend, 25, $35, $45 for a good MS-62, 63 for one of these. But again, you can find a majority of all of these coins for a fairly decent price. So again, look at the prices of your key date elements, look at your coins, kind of get a feel for what the strikes are over the entire series. Look at the general price points, find the most expensive in that particular series and determine if you're willing to spend that much for it. In this case, this would be one of the coins that you wanted to look at, which was that 1949 Rosie dime. Now, in this particular case, the coin that I'm showing here is an MS-64. It's a really good looking coin, nice, great luster. The photo probably doesn't do it the justice that it deserves. But again, it's one of those coins that in the five coins that I've pulled up for this opportunity are something that, or is something that you definitely can look at. Okay, so this is another one of those coins. Again, the easiest book I think in well, there's another one that I didn't include because most people don't like it, and that's the Susan B. Anthony dollars. A lot of people just don't like the Susan B. Anthony dollars, and so I didn't include that one just kind of by default. Hey, Anthony, I think I said hi to you, but if I didn't, I hope you're doing well. Thank you for coming in. Kevin, coin making sense. What's going on, Kevin? Kevin, if you have a little bit of free time and you want to come up and hang out for just a moment, you holler at me and let me know, and I'll fire you over an email. ATS, thank you for being a channel member. I appreciate you coming into the streams. Thank you so much for being here. Again, it's just one of those things that this is another coin. It's just another one of those that if you're going to create a book, it's just something that it's a lot of fun. Rob D, hi, how you doing? Thank you so much for subscribing. I definitely appreciate that. Coach's Magic. Does having a full set book enhance the value of the collection, or is it more of a goal for the collector? Um, that's a really good question, Coach. And it kind of depends. And the thing that it depends on is the buyer, right? A lot of people, and I talk about this, and you guys know, what's his name? Oh, come on, Pistol Packing Pilot. Pistol Packing Pilot had a really, really nice, I don't know if he still has it. I think he actually sold it. Had a really nice half-dollar seated collection. Absolutely gorgeous. It was one of those that was just it's they were all 63, 64, absolutely gorgeous coins. The set of them together was somewhere around eight to $10,000, right? Maybe a little bit more in a decent market. The problem was finding somebody that wanted to buy the entire set, right? So it's going to take a very specific collector to buy an entire set of high grade coins of that type. Now, if I were looking to buy coins, I've been doing this for about 2 years now. And so I would look at a set and would I be able to drop 8, 10, 10, and that, try that again. Would I be willing or able to drop 8, 10, $12,000 on a coin set? No, absolutely not. I would not be able to do that. However, I 100% would love to have a full set. I just have to buy it in moderation. And so if you're doing a book and Southern Coin Hunter says that he's doing an Ike book, I've got an Ike book sitting right next to me. Matter of fact, it's one of the ones I wanted to show that I did. I did one with, if you guys remember, YouTube Me and I were building our books together. He's building a Peace Dollar book. I built a Peace Dollar book. Still working on some of the upgrades for that because I want AU at least in all of my Peace Dollars. Um, and so in looking at, well, XFAU, again, we're still talking that XFAU level. For me as a collector, me as a person, I want to collect the book. Now, the reason I want to do that is because I want to collect the coins that I enjoy. Now, am I collecting every book and every hell no. I have all of the Susan B. Anthony dollars, but I don't have them because I like them. I have them because they remind me of my grandfather. I have all of the Ikes. I have the type 1, type 2, type 3. I have the varieties. Now, I don't have all of the varieties. I don't have all the errors or things of that nature. I haven't gone to that extent, but I do have all the basic elements. I don't have them in a Dansko album. I have them just in a normal, nice little um, museum quality archival grade book. Now, it's really important when we talk about archival grade, it's really important to have something that's museum quality or archival quality because if you don't, over the long haul, you're going to end up damaging your coin because there's a lot of acids and stuff and potential papers. Um, Kevin, can you do me a favor? Can you do exclamation point email? Um, send me a quick email and I will send you over this link. And then you can come up and hang out with me. Um, Thanks, brother. But again, it's just one of those things where, you know, personally, I want the book for Ike dollars because I like and I remember hanging out with my granddad. I remember my first trip to Vegas. I remember my first trip to Reno, Nevada, and Wendover, and some of the other places in Nevada, and putting those silver dollars into the machines. I remember playing the dollar machines and reaching in and understanding at that time that my my understanding of how filthy money was, right, came from sitting and playing slot machines in Vegas or in Wendover or in they're down in there in St. George in that area. Again, it's one of those things where I collect coins because of what they remind me of. The new tagline for my channel is Frostbite Coins, where the stories are told. I'm a person of stories, so I like the numismatics of a coin, or the series or the set of a coin because of what the stories are and what it tells me, right? So I collect for a very specific reason. Now, when looking at these particular items and kind of going through and seeing some of these things, do I need to have every one of them? No, I don't. And so I don't try to collect every coin, but it is important for me to have a good number of these because again, it's just one of those things. So great question. I do appreciate it. I just fired that email back off, so you should have that, bud. And I'll see you here in just a second. Awesome. That's going to be cool. That's going to be a little trip. Okay, I like the reverse on the yeah. So again, we talk about history. You guys know that on my channel, I have done stuff regarding the space program. I've talked about Apollo 11, Apollo 13. I've talked about the shuttle program. We've talked about ships on coins. I enjoy the exploration, the exploring of the ocean and the seas. You guys know I was in the Navy, right? So again, going back to Coach's question, do people collect the books or do people collect whatever? Well, really, it just kind of depends, and ultimately it's on the buyer. Does it make it more valuable? In some cases, the answer is going to be yes. Right. And the reason that I say yes to that is that if you have a complete set of something and you have the right buyer, they're going to be willing to pay more. They're going to be willing to pay a premium because it's all going to be located in one side. But again, you may have a difficult time selling it. So be careful with doing that. Hey, Chris G's in the house. What's going on, Chris G? Thanks for coming in. I hope you're doing well, brother. Good to see you here. Um, Ikes don't get the love they deserve. Yeah, I didn't include Ikes in here. Ikes are another one. I don't know why I didn't include Ikes in here. Ikes are one of those things that definitely is one of those that should be in here. It's absolutely affordable. You can be buying mint sets and proof sets for all of those, the brown Ikes, the blue Ikes. You can do an Ike book for fairly cheap and get really good graded coins, really good quality coins. Um, you can do an entire book for, 300 bucks. An entire book if you shop around and you find decent deals. The key date in that one's 1973, and 1973 is, of course, the best year because I was born in it. Where's Best Coin Crew? She was too, right? We're 73 babies. All right. So the next coin, and this is one that is going to kind of, a lot of people will look at this and go, oh man, some of those are extremely expensive. And they are. And again, this is where we start talking about the importance of understanding the value, understanding the quality, and what you're willing to spend. So the next couple coins that I'm going to show you really have to do with you making an assessment, you making a decision based off of what you're willing to spend. Now, again, we're talking about key dates or semi key dates in some places because sometimes the key dates are so far out of the price point that there's just some coins that you're just not going to be able to afford. Um, and some of those coins, we'll talk about this here in just a few moments. But when we start talking about some specific key dates in the Morgans, looking at, a very, 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 very inexpensive or a very, very, very low quality 1889 Carson City Morgan dollar, you're looking at bare bones, 1,500 bucks, right? And that is for the worst potential grade. You're talking about, G4. Um, I don't know that I would be interested in doing that. There he is. What's going on, brother?
Hey Frosty, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
Just trying to get everything situated here, so don't mind me. Uh, First time on the restream. Normally used to the stream yards.
So I quit using StreamYard because as of the end of this month, they're doubling their prices.
Uh,
Um,
yeah, I was unaware.
so if you look at, you're doing the standard rate, it was 25 bucks and now it's going to be 44. If you were doing the moderate rate, which is like 45 bucks, now it's going to be almost 90. And we're talking per month.
Well, I've been doing the annuals,
Yeah.
so
And I'm like, oh, hell no. Um, so I was looking at Restream and then I ran across Great Scott. Great Scott was using it. And I was like, hey, let's talk about this, do our mic stuff. And went through and I actually like it a lot better. And,
I
it's,
was looking at it about a year ago.
yeah.
And okay, I don't know what just went wrong, so gotta love it. Uh, just heard a bleep from the computer, so that's always fun.
Yeah, no problem whatsoever. It's all good.
All right.
Again, right now I'm just showing the coins. I'm not even showing us, so don't worry about your
Oh
camera.
no, yeah, you're good.
You work this stuff behind the scenes. We'll just kind of keep going forward.
All
So
right.
I'm
Cool.
gonna stop here where we're talking about the 1932. What are your thoughts about what I've stated so far regarding key dates and setting yourself up, understanding the prices of coins throughout the series?
Now, key dates are, well, they're key for a reason. I mean, they're the linchpin for a set. And if you're a set collector, I mean, it's it's always attractive to try to go for the bulk of a set. You getting everything in gem BU condition, and then you get to your finish line, and you're down to those key dates, and you start to notice that, okay, unless I want to spend 500, $1,000 in order to get that 32D quarter that you have on the screen, which is a gorgeous 32. Uh, uh, yeah, the set is not going to look homogeneous. Plus, if you go right at the beginning and you go for the key dates at the very start of the process, that just makes it where you know what kind of grade you can afford and what kind of set you can put together and try to make it look homogeneous.
Yeah, and that's something that unfortunately, when I first got in, I didn't even think about this. Right, this isn't something that was in my mind's eye. I
And
didn't
nobody
actually
does.
say again.
Nobody does.
Well, but this is why I want to talk about this, right? This is something that it's important because there's a lot of people that I just finished my peace dollar book, and I have the 21, but the 21 is um, in MS-61. It's in a annex holder. I have not yet brought myself to decide if I want to crack it out or not. To put it in the book. I'm kind of the nature, well, it's better leave it in there. It's already got some toning issues. It's not an overly attractive coin, but I keep it in the holder basically for protection. Do I want to pull that out and stick it in my archival book? Do I want to crack it? I just don't know the answer to that. But I knew when I was doing my peace dollars that I was going to be, if I could find them, I would fill them. But my ultimate goal was going to be AU. I wanted AU.
Hmm.
Right, and so looking at the 28, and that's why it was like, I knew the 28 and the 21, they were gonna be 350, $450 coins. I knew that.
Yeah,
And
just wait till you get to that 34S.
well, that's where right. And so it's kind of like, well, here we go. Strike matters, right? And
Yeah.
so if you have a series where the strike is whatever, the higher coins or the higher qualities are just they're more rare, um, what are you gonna do? Yeah, AZ. Yeah, ATS 1916D Merc, of course, right? Even in low qualities, you're talking about $1,000 coin. And so some of them you just have to be happy having one, right?
Exactly.
And that's those are the exceptions. This is why I'm talking about key dates that number one are what I would consider fairly affordable for key dates, in decent qualities. But again, you have to
Hmm.
understand what you want to go for, understand what you want. You know, he uses the term homogeneous. Um, it's just I want my coins to basically look the same, right? That's essentially what he's saying. And so if you're looking at this one, so this is the 32D. Obviously, it's a beautiful coin in this condition. This is about a $320 coin, but this is an MS-63. I could get an AU for 245 bucks, and for the most part, you're not going to be able to tell the difference.
No, because AU, it has similar luster. It has the similar detail. There might be a rub on it somewhere. So there's a little bit of a color break somewhere on the coin. I'm not going to point out where, but I mean, hey, if it is a gem AU and it's a real slider, I mean, it can pass
Yeah.
in an uncirculated set.
And so again, this is why Like, I'm fine with XF. Like, if I go through, what I want to see is I want to see the details of the coin. There are two coins that I 100% cannot stand in anything less than AU. And I will never, ever, ever try to set those coins because of price. Those are barbers and seated liberties. The seated liberties, I love Christian Goldbrack. He's my favorite designer. Some of the
Hmm.
stuff he did for the mint as the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint, some of the things that he implemented to do things like move from single stamps to two stamps to 3-date stamps to make it easier, process improvement. I really liked him as a director. There's just so much about Christian Goldbrack that I admired. Um, and while I don't like Charles Barber, if you get a really, really nice Barber quarter or Barber half that's in AU, BU, they're good looking. They good looking coins. But you
Yeah,
get
but
those and you
worn
rub
down,
them
they're
off.
a dog.
Say again?
Worn down, barbers are. I hate saying it, they're a dog.
They're ugly, nasty. I can't stand them. It's the same thing
But
with the worn down peace dollar. It's just, you know, this lady looked like she had, a lot of tacos for dinner. Um,
mhm.
they're not, I know that's an analogy not everybody needed, but um, it's just some of them just don't look good worn down. Uh, there are other coins worn down, they're not so bad, but man, like if I get a cat bust and it's worn down a little bit, I don't mind because it's a cat bust. If I have a flowing hair and it's G4, I don't care because it's a flowing hair, right? I just have one. That's kind of that whole premise. I don't care. Um, but yeah, the barbers they're a little bit rough. All right. So anyway, we're talking about the 32D. We talk about grades like this again. If you're going to have a coin like this, it's important that you really, really understand what your value point is and what your price point is. Now, I was listening to Silver Seeker talk and interview Coin Crew, and one of the questions they were doing some stuff, and he pulled up. They were doing kind of having a little fun, and wanted to ask a question about, would ChatGPT offer you advice on what to do with silver and gold? And the seeker had to basically force ChatGPT to give him an answer. But then they decided to ask a question about interviewing a coin collector. And one of the questions was about collecting and doing whatever. And one of the things that Keith from Coin Crew stated was that, find a price point that you're willing to spend, know what your budget is, and make sure you stay in it, right? If
Yep.
if there is something that I really struggle with, it's buyer's remorse. Um, it's really cool to have that really nice coin, but if it makes it difficult for me to feed my family at the end of the month, that's a bad choice.
Exactly. That's the thing with coin collecting. I mean, the allure of it is always there, and there are coins always available. But yeah, you have to be within your means.
Yeah, and this is something that we see this, and it's not just in coin collecting; it's hobbies in general. You could collect cars, you could be collecting, limited edition art. You could be collecting. We have weld and carry in here. I weld and carry knives, right? You could spend tons of money on a knife. Um, there are people who collect all sorts of weird gadgets and doodads, and you can find yourself spending way too much money. So it's not just coin collecting that we have this issue, but again, it's really important to understand your budget. Budget is really important when you're looking at coin collecting and making decisions. This is why I'm telling you to look at the entire series. We talk about Lincoln Cents, and Lincoln Cents, you can find Lincoln Cents, you can find BU Lincoln Cents for all years, except for some of the key dates for, 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks. But you get into those key dates and you start taking that next level, holy smokes, it's going to really, really, really crush you. Robert Pintoff said, what you're able to purchase depends upon your stage of life and degree of responsibility. That's fact. Um, again,
I'm still immature, so
say again.
I'm still immature.
You know me. Hey, Sloppy, what's going on? Good to see you. But again, hey, Strider, what's up? But yeah, it's just one of those things that, again, know your budget, know what's in your wheelhouse. Now, the next coin, a lot of people are going to wonder why in the world I put that up there. This is the 1896S. And we know this is a key date. We know that this has got this toning. Now, there's some people who like the toning, there's some people who don't. Um, this is natural toning. This picture comes from PCGS, and it's authenticated. It's actual normal. It's actual proper toning. If you look at the way that the toning's done, there's no harsh lines. It's not circus colors. It's really decent. But this is another one, understanding the series. Just because you have the 1896 that you're willing to spend $350 for, doesn't mean that you'll be able to do that for an 1881 Carson City or an
Mhm.
1884 Carson City. Um, Kevin, I'm sure you know some other Morgan dollars that are crazy, crazy. I have one pulled up that always amazes me every time I look at the prices. Um, and that is the 1889 Carson City,
Oh yeah.
right? So if you're really serious about looking at that in G4, it's a $1,600 coin.
Well,
G4.
yeah. Carson City coins went to the smelter. A lot of times they did. 89, they didn't survive very well.
Well, yeah, because of the Pittman Act.
Yeah.
Yep, they took almost all the coins from Carson City because they were readily there available at the mint, and they had a surplus. They knew exactly what they had. They had to take what? How much money was it? It was 800,000 coins or 800 million coins. I can't remember the number. Um,
Probably million because,
yeah,
yeah, I know they were supporting England to pay for their wars in India.
yeah, and so it was again. It was all to support the economy and support stuff that was going on overseas. But again, it's one of these where, yeah, just because you can afford a semi key date doesn't mean you're going to be able to afford the entire lot. So sometimes you're going to have to take the hit or the miss. But this is a semi key date um, that you can find for fairly decent. If you're looking at the 1896, and again, I say semi key because 1896 is a semi key date. But if you're looking at the price value, you can find one of these in, VF condition for a couple $100. Um, and again, when you're talking about some of these key date coins, YouTube Me found one at a flea market, sent it off for grading. It came back at like F12, but he got it for like 28 bucks. Hell of a good find, right?
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Everybody was telling him it was fake. Everybody was telling him it was fake, and he sent it in, and it came back, F12. Um, so you can look for these, you can find these and stuff like that. Are you going to find these, normally floating around pocket chains, stuff like that? No.
No.
Um, but again, it's important to understand the dates. It's important to understand some of the elements. But you can find some semi-key dates of this nature, good-looking coins for a price. Again, but the one that I really wanted to kind of wrap things up with, and I just picked up one of these, and I picked it up for a really good deal. And this is where understanding and being patient. Patience is a virtue, right? And I heard this stated, and I can't remember his name. Um, he's the guy he does the meat only diet. He's the psychologist, renowned speaker. Oh, why
Mm,
can't I think of his
I do not
name?
know.
Jordan. Um, oh, good Lord. I just completely lost my train of
Chad,
thought.
help us out.
Yeah, I think his name's Jordan something. Hey, L, good morning. How are you? Hi, Paula, not Atkins. Jordan
Good morning,
Peterson.
Miss Paula.
There you go. Paula, I sent you an email. You have the link if you want to come up. Yeah, Jordan Peterson, and he was talking about virtues, and he's like, a man who is dangerous but chooses not to use it, and reference martial arts. A man who's knows his skill, or a woman who knows their skill, but chooses to remain that understands the level of virtue, but not not buying because you can't afford it isn't necessarily virtuous, right? Having the
Mhm.
willpower not to do it, knowing that you have things that you have to take care of, and being willing to be patient and wait and save and do something like that, that's more virtuous than it is, well, I can't afford it, so I'm not going to buy it. Don't mix those things together, because uh, it's really important for people to understand that coin collecting or any hobby requires discipline. And sometimes you have to be okay not having, Paula,
Good morning.
hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, Miss Paula.
Good morning. How are
Someone
you,
needs
Kevin?
coffee.
I am drinking it right now.
How you been?
I've been okay. I'm
Yep.
trying to find an avatar here. This restream thing is different.
It is a little bit different, but I've had better quality and less cutbacks and no issues with audio. So I'm very happy
Yeah,
with
that's what you said.
it. Yep.
Good.
So the
And it's
last one,
free.
say again.
You said it's free.
Yeah, I still have the little Restream logo up here. I'm not paying for it. I'm going to run it for a little while, determine if there's any issues with it, and then Inkman, good morning. Thank you for being a channel member. Greatly appreciated. Um, but yeah, I've not paid for it. And it's fine. It's got some good design elements. There's a couple things that I want to do that they have, um, kind of a few bells and whistles that you have to pay to get. Um, but I'm going to play with it for probably another month or so to determine if that's something that I want to do, and then I'll probably pay the $19 for the lowest session.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
when I was trying to determine if I was going to sign up with StreamYard again this past year, I was looking at Restream and I was actually ready to pull the trigger. Unfortunately, I decided too late, and StreamYard had already charged me for the annual fee. So,
Oh, you're doing it by yearly, huh?
yeah.
Oh,
Well, the good thing for you though is that you've already paid, so your price isn't going to take into effect until renewal. But you're going to really want to watch because their prices just went nuts.
yeah. I
Yeah.
Um,
just I just got my first up pricing invoice for $44. So
Oy.
that's for the
we're gonna
low
have to have
level.
a talk. That's for the I don't know. It's not the low level. They still have a free one.
Yeah,
I
but I've
thought
been
they were going to
noticing
phase
that
that out
free
by the end
one.
of October, though.
No, it's still there. They still have the free one.
I was noticing some of the free ones. The logos have definitely changed and increased in size.
Yeah, there's more options and stuff. Like, I mean, there's all kinds of little things you can play with, but I mean, $44 a month is a lot. And especially when for us, the live coin Q&A, we stream once a month, or I mean once a week, and every once in a while we throw an extra one in there. So that's a lot to pay for that little amount of time that we stream, you
Yeah,
know.
$11 a week.
Yeah, so we're
Yeah,
gonna have to have a powwow. I don't know what Restream charges for their basic plan, but
it's like $20.
yeah.
Yeah, it's what it used to be over there at StreamYard. Now,
Yeah.
StreamYard did a couple cool things, but the problem, and a lot of people, and I was in the forums troubleshooting, trying to find out what was going on. A lot of people were dropping StreamYard because they were having audio issues as well. I've talked to three
That's
other
what they're
channel members in
saying.
our community who have left StreamYard because whenever they would try to do neat things with blending OBS, or with blending some of the other DaVinci uh, editing software, where you could do the editing live, like you could adjust all your levels live while you're going through it. sound quality, the choppiness you'd cut out. There were major issues with StreamYard, especially when
Mhm.
integrating because StreamYard wanted to control it. They wanted to run everything, and it just became really problematic. I had to get
Yeah.
rid of it because whenever they did their previous update, it was 2 cycles ago. Ever since then, my mic would chop and cut out and do whatever, and I
Yeah.
finally just had to say, "Forget it. It's done." I had to
I've
also
just been
delete.
having
Say again?
I've just been having it where the video quality is so much less because if you're on their one tier, I mean, you get the 780. You have to get the professional tier in order to get the 1080p.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're doing some really cool things, but again, folks, people have to understand when you're doing the high-end stuff, like you're really trying to do interfaces and you're putting graphics up, like I'm putting up on the screen with the Morgan and then the coloration in the back. It all requires bandwidth. So the more bells and whistles you put in, it takes up. Now I'm running StreamYard or Streamlabs. I'm running the OBS and Suite. So that's why you see all the fancy stuff on the outer edge. But I'm also running this. Now I'm not streaming this. I'm actually just pulling it into OBS. So I'm running 2 live environments at the same time. StreamYard is such a memory hog that it was just eating me alive. And I wasn't able to, and you know what? I can do this. I don't need to have this open anymore. Let's do this. Um, I don't, I didn't like the fact that it was sucking up all my resources. I just couldn't stand the fact that it didn't matter what I was trying to do. Um, my audio just, it sucked. Even if I tried to kill StreamYard totally, the only time it worked was when I took myself out of StreamYard and put myself in OBS. But as soon as I had another guest up and I had StreamYard up, it would kill my audio. I just couldn't handle that anymore. Too many people were complaining about it, and I just was like,
Yeah.
I can't do this anymore.
I gotcha.
So, but I've had zero issue. Everybody said that the audio quality is way better now. There's been no cutouts. I've see steady state audio all the way through. I no longer have to have my microphone sitting up in my face like this. I can actually bring it down here
Hmm.
where it needs to be, away from myself. And so I've been really happy with this.
Good.
So
And no, this message has not been brought to you by StreamYard.
Right.
yeah, this isn't a. I'm
This
not
isn't a
Totally
commercial.
not for
I'm
them.
not promoting Restream. That's not what I'm doing. I'm not sponsored by them. It's just, facts are facts, and people need to know what's happening, and so I don't mind sharing.
But no, that's excellent information. Thank you.
So because I hate what I can't stand is when I budget something and all of a sudden I get a bill and I'm $30 short and I overdraft a a Red Bull, or I go pick up a Starbucks coffee and I overdraft a $4 purchase
Hmm.
because I was budgeting for 25 or 35 more dollars than I had because something came through and they budgeted a price point. They increased their price point by 50, 60, 70, 80,
You
200%.
know, I used to watch StreamYard. Of course, most of the time it was just so I could try to win one of their ducks, but I used to watch them all the time. They would have updates and things like that all the time, and I don't see that anymore. Are they not doing that anymore? Like, I know I heard you say that they got bought out or
Yeah, I
somebody
think they
bought
got
them
bought by
out.
somebody.
They got bought out. And one of the original creators, now my data
It's
might
two
be a
young
little bit,
guys, right? That created it. Two
yeah,
young
Yeah.
guys.
I think there
Yeah.
was kind of a division. They split and broke up, but I think that
Okay.
one of the original creators is who created Restream. It's the same
Okay.
functional shell. It's the same basic premise. Some of the design elements are a
So
little bit
they did
harder to
not do
find.
a non-compete. Uh,
Well,
Hey,
yeah,
if
but
it's his
Restream's been
intellectual
out for a
property,
while, so it could have been one of those things where it was released, developed, and they couldn't do a no compete clause because the software was already there. So they may have been building
Mm,
this knowing that there was going to be a potential for selling. This could have been
mm.
a multi-year plan to get rid of it because they were going in a direction that maybe the designer didn't want to do. They knew they were going to bill, so they created something behind the scenes.
It got too corporate or
You
something.
know what? And they were just like, "Look, I'm going to have this available because when they say no compete, I'm going to be like, hey, I already have one. You can't
Yeah.
issue that. Um, it's already developed. It's already there. I've already been working it. Right? There's already people on it. You can't tell me that I can't do a no compete clause.
Yeah.
So I don't know that that's, the fact. Um, but again, if you look at, how things are done, they've been available for a while. So it wouldn't surprise me if that was the way that that worked out. But I don't have all
I
the details on it. I've been looking for some stuff. I just haven't been able to do this. Slot
Slot Crush,
Crush,
$20. Come on
$20
now.
super
ah,
chat. I went into her stream and dropped a bunch of gift memberships yesterday. She's just returning the love. I was hoping you'd hit the Frankie. It looked like it was going to do something
So
for you. It
she's a
just didn't.
slot channel, is that what it is? Because I
Yep,
watch a few
she is a
slot
slot
channels.
channel. So, but I was hoping she had a couple.
I don't watch the big jackpot anymore because he's just a loudmouth and I can't stand him.
There's some of the
And he
great big
doesn't share
channels.
the love.
Some of the great big channels, they drive me nuts because it's become a circus show. Um,
Mm,
I just like the
yes.
general chit chat and the banter. Slot Crush, McVillain, um,
I
uh,
like I like the
5K.
uh,
They're just fun. They're down to earth, real people, and they're just there to have fun. And
I like
you know
the
what? I
Jersey.
just like having fun. I drop memberships more than I will drop super chats. I tell the same people in my stream. Um, I like including people in community, and people go in and they watch a channel. I want to drop memberships. Super chats help the channel, but the memberships help other people engage into that channel, which make them more vested into that channel. So if they're already part of that community, I feel like it helps that community grow. So that's why I like doing the gifted memberships. That's why if you look at the top of uh my Streamlabs, you'll see above my name the check stacker, right? So check stacker was the
mhm.
last one to do the gifted memberships. Um, and so that's kind of like my place of honor. So if you drop gifted memberships, then your name shows up there. Because I want to grow and build community. That's kind of what I'm about. And this is why, like, coins making sense, right? Go check out Kevin's channel, right? If you guys aren't subscribed to him, go check him out. This dude's very knowledgeable. He has a good show where go watch him open stuff, and he provides information and does that kind of stuff. You guys know I love and support live coin Q&A. Paula, it's not a joke. I say this seriously. I consider her as a mentor. Um,
Thanks.
well, I
I'm gonna
love
have
you.
to check out that slot crush though. I like it. I like slot channels. I don't
She's
know. It saves me money.
well, and that's what I like, right? I play vicariously through them. But again, it's
I
more about
do.
now the other one that I like that's a lot of fun is, and I like McVillain, but they're moderators for the channel that I came across, and that's 5K. 5K is a uh L, do me a
I
favor.
don't use that
Yeah,
channel.
she
I
doesn't
don't
use
use
that
that
one.
channel at
Put
all.
in Livecoin, and
I claim me.
you know what? I love this woman, so I'm gonna do this. And you can go ahead and
I
drop your
watch
channel in
the
there.
guy from New Jersey. I watch Stacy Slot, something
Now,
it's called.
here's the thing about Slot Crush. Slot Crush has coins, and I keep trying to remind her, hint, hint, wink, wink. You need to take some photos of some of these, and let's talk about them.
Let's talk about your
Let's talk
coins,
about your
Slot
coins.
Crush.
So, and she's like, I know, I just been busy. Um,
I just got my business cards. My
I
Kaneka
saw you
business
share
card.
that out.
Did
Yeah,
you see
nice,
that? I know,
very
pretty slick.
nice.
for the Kaneka.
Yes.
Oh, very cool. Send,
I
do you
feel
have
so
it
official.
digitally?
I've never had a business card in my entire life.
Do you have it digitally?
I do. You want to see it?
Send me, but
I'll share it.
send me a digital copy and I'll post it on my community page.
Okay.
Hey, Frosty, do you mind if I post my link?
Oh, never, dude.
Yeah, of course. Post your link.
Aren't you,
Coins
you're a
making
mod?
sense.
Fire away.
Yep.
Hell yeah,
You
I
should,
just promoted your channel, dude.
right?
Hey, I'm considerate.
No, I appreciate that. I really do. Live coin Q&A. I'll pull it up. Or Paula can drop it. She knows the
I'm busy.
Jack Gallman. What's going on, Jack? I hope you're doing well.
I
Jack, good to
cannot
see you.
multitask.
You know, I tell my
can't
wife I
multitask.
multitask very well as long as I can do things one at a time.
One at a time. Yeah, that's exactly right.
So
Let's see
the other
where
coin
am
that
I?
I have up here is the 1931S. Now I just picked up this
What's
coin
that?
and I
How
picked it
do you
up
share it?
from
Oh, I love that
Chuck.
date. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Power came back yesterday. Jack, that's really good news.
Congratulations. Nice.
That's awesome news. I'm so glad to hear that,
Yay.
especially when they were they were projecting potentially 10 days out. So absolutely fabulous. That's good news. That'll
Jack's
save
in
you.
North Carolina, right?
Yeah, and
Yep.
that'll save him tons of money in fuel.
Bless your heart.
So it's still, there's water and stuff to have to take care of. And I mean, obviously there's tons of cleanup and stuff that has to be done. But Jack, having power is awesome. Thanks for the update, brother. I really do appreciate you doing that. Yep. Elle, thank you so much for dropping by, Frost. I picked her up yesterday, and she said she was going to stream with me this morning. She didn't get out of bed. She's like, but we'll stream later. We're going to go live. She's going to do some drawings. But I sent her a message, and they had a football game in Houston, so they didn't get back until like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, "Hey, have you been online?" She goes, "No." I said, "Go get online." She goes, "Okay." And I was like, "You logging in?" She's like, "Yeah, hold on." Holy smokes, I'm at 106, Dad. She was so happy. So thank you all for the support. She loves it. She's building an animation right now that is 1.2 minutes long. Okay. 900 frames.
Oh,
She has to do 900 individual drawings in order to do a 1.2 minute animation.
hey, 30 frames a second.
She is doing some really cool stuff. And again, it's not AI generated. She's doing the drawing. She's doing the coloration. She's going back and changing things. So when she drops that, please go support, share that out. You guys saw, if you haven't gone to her channel, go click on L's, go look at that little animation thing that she did. That's a little sample of kind of what's going to go on. She's working on the audio for the song. She's doing it too. But kind of give you a generalized idea. That's only like 24 seconds of it or something like that. But it's really cool. Like she's doing a ton of stuff. I don't have the stuff that she just did, but she just did a piece for Vote for Pedro and his kids. And I'll take pictures of those and post those later. Fabulous pieces. He actually commissioned a couple pieces to be done. So I really appreciate your guys' support of her. Actually, vote for Pedro. Were you still here? Vote for Pedro usually lurks in the background. And he may have taken off. I know he's got kids waking up and stuff going on. It's early in the morning. Ah, there he is. Yeah.
I know Eric was here yesterday.
Yeah. So vote for Pedro.
He's
Those will be
doing
getting
okay,
sent off
right?
today. But I'll post a couple pictures of those on my community page. Say that again, Paula.
And Eric was here yesterday, right? I know.
Eric is
So he's
doing
doing
storm
okay.
prep. Yeah, so they got
He's doing
another
what?
storm prep. They got another
They got another storm
Oh, they
coming
got
in.
storm.
another one coming?
Yep, heading across the
No,
panhandle of Florida. Yep,
really?
yep. I pulled up information here. I'll pull that up real
Oh
quick. I'll just share that again
no.
so that people can see this. Um, let's replace the screen to
And FEMA's broke.
say
I thought
again.
their fiscal
Did you
year
know that?
started again.
FEMA is broke. They had billions of dollars that went to, let's just say, other than natural disaster causes.
Yeah, there were
Oh,
discussions about that. So here's the storm. You can see this storm brewing over in this area.
Gross.
And this track, and so you can see the remnants of this tropical depression that's just about to, I mean, it's been inundating the panhandle of Florida.
Oh
They've
my
been just, there's
gosh.
so much rain, it's horrible. But here's the storm track. So this is expected to come across, and we have a couple people that are located right here in this area, and there you can see that band of showers just continues to inundate that. The
So
problem
it's
is,
not going to be a hurricane, though, right?
um, yeah, so it's category 1. They're expecting it to get to category
At
3
one,
here. And
but
so
then weaken.
then weaken when it makes landfall. They said it should weaken pretty quickly, but the problem is they're expecting this to be a massive rain producer.
yeah.
And
Oh
what we have to hope
gosh.
for is that this doesn't make a left turn and end up heading back into the Carolinas. It needs
Oh,
to
Jack,
drop
What
I'm
they
down
so
don't
and
need.
sorry.
turn. Yeah, I'm hoping, really, really hoping it takes more of a southerly route. Because if it comes up here and breaks
Well,
out,
now that was the problem with this last one, is that normally they weaken when they hit landfall, but this one got stronger, right?
so the issue with the one that just happened, and
Helene,
I'll
Helene,
use this
Helene,
just so you can see what's going on.
Helene.
So let's say the storm is this big open area here in the center, right? This is where the hurricane is, and you have these
Mhm,
rain
mhm,
bands. The problem with the one that came up through here, right? That came up through this area, went all the way up into Tennessee and Pennsylvania, and even uh, dropped tons of rain up into the Ohio River Valley. The
New
problem is that the
Jersey.
rain bands ahead of the storm were so big, and it was dropping so much rain that the storm was continuing to pick up moisture as it went up. And so it was almost fueling itself, because as the storm was still over here, the rain bands were all the way already up into
Mm.
Atlanta and Tennessee,
Hmm.
right? They were already
Oh
up
my
in this
gosh.
high area. And so as this continued to make landfall, they were already saturated. And because of that
Hmm.
heavy rainfall, it just continued to grow and grow and grow and grow, and just it went nuts. The potential for this one is that right now they're estimating category 3, but if this strengthens here and this turns left, because again, the more it strengthens, the more it's going to take that flow up, right? So if this strengthens any more through here, let's say that it all of a sudden decides it wants to be a category 4 in this area, this trajectory could push this right
Mm-hmm.
back up that coast. And if that trajectory pushes that back up that
Hmm.
coast, then Jack and all those folks are going to get just hammered again.
Well,
So
let's just pray that
I
Yeah.
it
pray
just
that it
gets
takes that
weaker
southerly
instead of
route.
stronger.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
So that's definitely
And yeah,
something
you
that we
guys
want
just
to
come
keep
to
watching.
Oregon.
Hmm.
I'll put tents up in my backyard for you.
And if you've been
Just
to
come to
Oregon lately,
Oregon.
they're everywhere, so nobody will even pay the difference.
They are everywhere. You'll fit right in. I might be able to get government funding.
Hey,
Oh, Slot Crush says, I'm in Fort Lauderdale,
I,
so I would just love to disappear and drive home through. Yeah. And you just went
uh,
on a trip, so you're going to be flying home. When are you returning home? Oh, excuse me.
oh my gosh, you guys, that's terrible.
Yeah. So Eric, and I would love for because I'm north of you yeah, I'm about an hour north of San Antonio. I would love for this storm to come through Brownsville and head up and go up through the panhandle of Texas into New Mexico. We need the water badly. We're in stage two, stage three drought.
Mm.
It gets
Yeah,
any
but
worse.
not that quickly. Not
Oh,
that quickly.
it's not going to turn, but I'm just saying we need a storm that comes up through here.
Yeah.
This is where we need that goes
Don't
all the
worry,
way up
Jack. We
into.
won't say a thing.
Say again.
I said, don't worry, Jack. We won't say a thing. He just had a message in the chat.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, dude.
Oh, Jack, just tell her you're taking her on vacation to
Yeah.
Oregon. Just go to Oregon.
Oh, she's in Atlantic City. That's a
Oregon.
tough place. She gets home tomorrow afternoon. Well, the good thing is you'll be home long before the storm reaches, so that's definitely good. But hope you're doing well. And again, keep us updated, folks. And again, this is one of those things that's really important. We have a ton of members in the community that live in these areas, so do me a favor, get the information from them. Right? Be aware of the stuff you get from social media. We talked about this yesterday. People will do stuff to cause chaos, to cause strife, to cause confusion. There are people who just want to watch the world burn. If you want to know what's actually happened, know where the people are that live in those general areas and reach out to them. Number one, it does a couple things. It builds
Yeah.
community, right? This is something that's important to share with people. It lets people know what's happening when it happens, and we know kind of where we're at. And the other is it dispels misinformation, and misinformation is rampant. And so I want to make sure that we alleviate that. Ooh, I don't want that one. Let's do that one. There we go. That was too much of my face up close. You guys don't need that.
It's too early in the morning for that.
Yeah. There's not enough coffee in the day.
And I like what you have up there on the screen, Kevin.
Oh, thank you. I actually
like
just picked
I
this up.
like
When are you
It's
sending me one?
what's
if I can find another one, I
I
will.
like that.
No, those are beauty.
Yeah. Those that don't recognize it, this is actually the winning reverse design from back in the 1930s, from
Mhm.
1938 for the Jefferson nickel.
Hey, Silverman.
Uh,
So what was the politics behind that? So when you shared this the other day, or no, Paula shared this the other day.
It was
What was what was the political whatever that caused the other reverse to be used?
that I'm not aware of, so I would have to ask Miss Paula.
Yeah, I'm not sure that it was politics as much as it just was not um like it didn't strike up as well or something like that. I think it had to do with the way it worked with the obverse and stuff. So I mean that's happened a lot in the past
Mm-hmm.
where one design has been loved more than the other, but it just didn't work well. The mechanics of it didn't work well. So I think that it was kind of high relief, and I don't think that it worked well when they went to strike it. So
Hey, Kraken with the $2 super chat. Time to go
yeah,
get some more flood insurance. Yeah, this
because
is
there
not.
was actually a different obverse
Yeah.
also.
Yeah, that one was
There
ugly
was
though.
also a different obverse. Also.
That one was ugly
I
though.
know, but
That one didn't went
mhm,
on for a
it
reason.
was, but we're talking about Jefferson, so they didn't have a lot to work with.
Yeah, very true, very true. But no,
Paula's got jokes.
I
There wasn't
just
a lot to work with in it.
I just love this design. I mean, it's just a beautiful design.
It's a good looking piece, and they don't come up
I
very
do
often.
too. I really like
Yeah, they're pretty hard to find.
I really
I
like
looked
it.
for a couple after the last time Paula showed one because I had seen this before. I love Thomas Jefferson and some of the stuff that he did, and um, studying Monticello, and then when we were in France, seeing the building that was the brainchild, but beside or brainchild behind his design of Monticello. So I always liked uh, some of his stuff, but I've never been able to find this coin. They're really, really cool.
Uh,
Well,
uh, well, Felix
your best
Schlag.
bet.
Sorry, go ahead, Paul.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. No, go ahead, Kevin.
Well, Felix Schlag, the guy who was the designer of all this, was from Albion, Michigan. And these were done up for the Full Steps Nickel Club back in 2002.
Mm-hmm.
And most of them
Yeah,
were.
there's original ones. Sorry, there's original ones, and then there's the ones that were just released a few years ago
The
by
Landis ones, yeah.
Landis. Yeah.
Can't find those either.
And if he's not in the room, then he's outlandish.
Yep.
I have them.
Yeah, cool stuff. Really neat
And
stuff.
the one I have is.
I would love to.
Yeah, this is the.
I would love
Full
to get
Step.
my hands on
This is
the
the Full
original.
Step Society
yeah,
one.
that's the Full Step one. Mm-hmm. Full Step Nickel Club.
That's
Yeah.
cool. Now that is pretty cool. I like seeing.
And they
I
come
like
up every
seeing the
once in a while,
oddities
but be
and.
prepared to pay. But be prepared to pay.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, I'm sure. I would love to be able to get at least one or two type pattern coins. But it just, I don't feel like selling a car to do it.
I hear that. Yeah. A dream coin for me would be 1858 Indian head cent.
Hey, L, have a good one. Thanks for coming in and being mod. And don't forget to plug in your phone. Take care of yourselves. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you.
Good to see you.
Say that one more time, Kevin. I missed that.
Oh, I was just saying that a dream coin of mine would be to try to find one of those 1858 Indian head cents. The pattern.
Yeah. Now, is that the one that doesn't have the shield?
It doesn't have the shield, but well, it's the
It's the Indian with the
they
flying
didn't have
eagle
the shield.
reverse, right?
But there's actually a pattern coin for 59 that actually does have a shield. So, because they were playing around with that idea for a while.
I gotta go look at it.
Yeah, I got everything packed away here, so I don't have my Judd
pattern
out.
coin.
My Judd's book out.
I'm trying to pull up here's 1858. I've got one on eBay. Hold on.
I'm gonna go out and come back in because I've got like a delay.
You've got a what?
Frostbite.
No problem.
I have a delay, so I'm gonna go out and come back in.
Okay, sounds good. So here, I'm not sharing my screen. I'm over here trying to show something off, and I can't show it off because it's not there. You still here, Kevin?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Why is my screen not sharing? Just wants to share the one. What the hell's up with that? There we go.
See, happy chappy, love the fatty Indian cents. Yes, sir.
This one?
Oh, that's her.
Yeah.
I mean, just having the preview of the coin. I mean, you don't expect to see the 58 on it.
Yeah.
And it's different. I mean, it's something that, I mean, it's not unique, but I mean, it's scarce. And that's something that I've been trying to find more and more recently, trying to find something that's a scarcity.
Yeah, well, this is definitely one of those.
Yeah, I'd hate to ask what the price tag on it is.
You want to see the price?
I shudder, but yes. Oy vey.
Yeah, $3,200.
Yep.
Ye
I
old
believe it.
fatty holder.
Oh yeah, white label, and it's got a green bean on it. I mean, hey,
Yeah.
it's got all of the pluses on it.
Ye freaking haw. Crazy stuff. But yeah, very, very cool. Yeah, very cool. There's another one that I'll pull this one up real quick because this one's really cool.
Yeah, vote for Pedro. I'd buy that for $1. Yeah, you and me both.
Where is, oops, no, that's not the right one. Here is, no, that's not the right one. That's the commemorative. Where'd it go? Trying to pull up this thing. Here we go. This is a coin that I absolutely love. I like the heraldic eagles,
Mm-hmm.
and this is a $0.25.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's it's a beauty.
The early Eagles, I mean, a lot of people think they look like plucked turkeys, but you know what? It's just having a different perspective on it. I mean, we're used to the big breasted, full, uh, wings unfurled eagle that we've been seeing on coinage now for the past 90 plus years.
Yep.
But still, there's something to be said about how they represented it back in the early 1800s.
Well, so this is 1793, and this was a 1792 coin. This is one of the pattern coins. Joseph Wright was the one. He's from, I think, New Jersey. That created this particular coin, and I just really like the simplicity of the design. Um, you can see this. Hey, Kraken. Sorry, bud. Not been paying attention to chat. I was looking at something. I appreciate it. I'll be chatting with you later. Appreciate you coming in, and I'm looking forward to getting that package. So thank you so much. I apologize. I wasn't paying attention to that.
But no, I mean, without you telling me that's a 1793, I mean, I would have never guessed that. I would have said 1830s because the design type on it, it's more modern than I would have expected out of 1790s.
Yeah. So the 1792 Eagle Globon $0.25, which was a remarkable coin, was just one of two examples that are known to exist. This one is graded mint state 63 and has been kept significantly better than its AU 50 counterpart, both of which are housed at the Smithsonian Institute. So
Man.
fabulous, fabulous. But again, I like sometimes, simple is better, right? And
Oh, yeah.
you hear this a lot. Simple is better. Paul is back. There you go.
Oh, Miss Paula.
That took forever.
So, but yeah, I like these little pattern coins and the coins that what made it, what didn't make it. So why was this one not selected? Because I think this is a fabulous looking coin. But yeah, I just like the simplicity of it. I like the open fields, right? It's just liberty. There's obviously the date is not there because you'd have to have the date there somewhere. which would probably be on the reverse. But again, it's just an elegant, sleek, beautiful pattern coin. I would love to I would love to have something like this. But of course, I'll never have one of these because it's at the Smithsonian. So,
Yeah. There's two and they have them both.
Yeah, yeah. So the likelihood of ever getting something like that is none.
Yeah. Very remote.
Yeah. So it's just, but they're just really cool. I look at some of those, but I would be happy with a 1909S Indian head set.
Now that
Uh,
I can help you with.
this is
Mm-hmm.
this is another one that I really like. Let me see if I can pull this one up.
THS, that's another good one. Does anybody have a Fujio scent?
My sister does, and you want to know how she got it?
Hmm.
They were metal detecting for a broken pin from a trailer because they lost it in a field, and
Well,
they found like 4 or 5 coins in a field in Virginia.
now that's a find.
Yeah,
I think
Yeah.
many of them were found that way.
yeah. It was like,
Fujio
whoa.
scent and Novo Constellatio.
I'm
Mhm.
gonna
Another
step away
one that I
real
would
quick.
love
I want to
to
pull
find.
something up.
The New Jersey coppers.
One of the coins she sent me was this one. This is from Virginia. Um, I told her to go to the local museum there. She's not from there. She was visiting a friend. But this is 1773. It's one of the Virginia halfpence,
Hmm.
and this is one of the other coins that she found. And it's like black. You can't see anything
Hmm.
without it being under the scope, under light. Um, but the other coin was like extremely valuable, so I told her to take it and talk to one of the um, museums in the area, see what was going on, and get pricing on it. All the other stuff, I don't know what they did with it, but yeah, just they were looking for one of those cotter pins for a trailer that happened to bust, and they
Huh.
were trying to find the piece that came
Funny.
off. And how the hell, right?
Yeah, sometimes you just get lucky.
Yeah. Here's the other one that I thought was really cool, and I like this one. This one's really neat.
That's different.
Yeah. 1906 pattern coin. Yeah. Gold coin. Really neat. I think I'm sharing the wrong screen, but yeah. Good looking.
For the double eagle, huh?
Yeah.
I like the one we have.
I do too. Well, I mean, you can't
Yeah,
compare.
you can't
You
compare
can't
St.
compare
Gaudens.
Godden's because Godden's is amazing. But still, it's just one of those where you know, you look at the Frisian hat, and what was it called before the Frisian?
I do not know.
Oh gosh.
We talked about this not very long
I think it
ago.
started with a P. Hang on. I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah. But you got the Frisian hat, and
Yeah,
then you got the
Phrygian hat.
laurel. So you got
Oops.
power and freedom, right? Which is the representation of what we wanted to embody.
And before the Phrygian hat, so it was just a white cap. Um, that you usually see with a pole, because that is basically like when they did I guess they did like a ceremony. They like would tap them with the pole and then put that white cap on them to symbolize their freedom.
So that's why the cap is on the pole on the Seat of Liberty.
Yeah.
Somebody in chat will know because we talked about it. Oh gosh.
Yeah, I got King on mine. Good to see you. Yeah, Jack has his power back.
Oh yay! That's so awesome. Oh.
Yeah. It's Frisian, but it was something else before, and I can't remember what the name of it was. I know we had talked about it, and somebody had found the name.
Yeah, no, it was way before the Phrygian cap. Hang on.
I can't remember the name
No.
because I know we talked about it.
I'm watching chat. I'm waiting for somebody to pop up
They
because I
call
am
it a
not.
Liberty cap, but it's not a Liberty cap. It was called something else.
It's Peleus. It was, let's see, I'm going to trace it to the Peleus cap worn. So Peleus, Pileus. A cap worn by the formerly enslaved in ancient Rome to indicate they had been freed. So that was what came before the Phrygian cap.
It was the original dunce cap.
Yeah.
I'm also seeing Thracian cap.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Peleus goes back to
Yes.
ancient Greece.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a good
Yeah,
photo.
I was watching one of the Numis chats, and that's where that came up. The guy said, if you know that this actually that the Phrygian cap was came way before Phrygia.
Red figure. King of Peleus cap. The original dunce hat. You're in timeout, dude.
But it just was a white, I don't know if it was wool or what type of cloth it was made of, but just to symbolize that the slave was no longer. Yeah, that's not the same as the one. That's not the same as the one.
Now, this is the 4th century BC. The other one,
that's a conical one. I don't know. This one was just a cap. It was put on and they handed them their pole, and that's why you see it a lot. You see the Phrygian cap depicted oftentimes with the pole on lots of our coins.
yeah. These are the various hats.
And if I could try to keep telling the
Brazilian
story,
helmet.
I'm going to start making crap up because I can't remember exactly what. I just know that it was a really good talk.
You know what?
I watch a lot of those Numis talks, and I pick like a couple things that stick in my head, and then the rest just kind of goes way over.
I have a photo of this statue right here because I actually saw this when we were in Venice. That's really cool.
Nice.
Yeah, really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, squirrel.
Yeah, fun stuff.
But I'm sure that Kevin knows somebody who owns a coin shop that's on a certain podcast that thinks he knows everything that he could ask that about.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
I might know the person that you might potentially be. Maybe, perhaps.
Let me tell you, I just gotta say, if that guy tried to talk to me the way he talks to other females on there, we would have a problem. I'm just saying. All right, rant over.
Oh, it's too early, Paula. You can't be over
I
that
know.
fast.
Yeah.
I know it is. I know. It's okay.
Oh, too
I
much
just,
fun.
I just get riled up when I.
Oh,
Anyway.
it's all good.
No,
Yeah,
I
it's
I do like those Numis talks. You guys should watch them. They are free.
so I
Was that
did.
the Russ Vega one?
No, but Russ Bega did one on Mel and oh god.
Well, I thought he had one on Seated Liberties also.
Oh, he might have had one on. He's had so many. Yes, it's possible. He could have done one on Seated Liberties.
But
But
no,
he
definitely anything to increase your knowledge
yes.
is always
No,
worthwhile.
my favorite one is the one he did on Zerb and Mel.
Ooh, that is good.
Yes. Yes, that's a great one.
So the one on Zerb was really enlightening, and what I liked, and I even reached out to the
Mhm.
ANA and told them that I really liked that because he talked about kind of the dark side of numismatics, right? Where he was talking about some of the nefarious things that he did and talking about kind of what happened. Like I really enjoyed that talk.
Yeah, he
Like,
was the Barnum and Bailey of
yeah, I
numismatics.
really enjoyed that talk.
Yes. It was in fact he called it the something circus. Numismatic circus or something. But yeah, it was but I love Russ, so I mean he could talk about, you know, raking leaves and I'd be all about it.
Yeah,
I
that
really
was a lot of fun. If you guys haven't seen that, Paul, if you want to drop the link in there,
mm,
um,
uh, I don't because then I'm gonna have to start searching for things, and I'm having everybody in my house right now is using the internet.
Here, I'll look it up.
I'm having a
I
problem.
have it. I think it's on my community page.
I
You can
think
go to
it's
my
called the
community
numismatic
page and it's
circus.
in there. I posted it. It's a
Hey, I
fun
wrote
watch.
an article. I wrote an article called "Clickbait Caught a Whopper-Sized Cod."
You wrote an
Guess what
article
that's
called what?
about? Clickbait caught a Whopper-sized cod.
Okay, you're gonna have to enlighten us on this one.
You can, come on,
Uh,
people.
in COD we trust, I
Thank
believe.
you. Thank you. Yep, I did. I was so ticked off yesterday because I'd
Yeah, I
seen it.
saw that post.
Yes. I was so ticked off that at first I posted that and then I'm like, you know what? I just gonna do it. I'm gonna I'm gonna suck it up and it probably sucks. It is probably the worst article you will ever read, but it's gonna be out there for people to
Just talking about the fact that that's a normal design element and it's not anything
yes,
fancy, and
yes. And
it's
how
like,
important it is when you're searching any series to know the normal design
yeah,
so that you don't get caught up in hype that people, people use to get your hard-earned money. That's what it boils down to. It's people trying to take advantage of others who don't know any better
yep,
and and especially the new people who have just like who we've all looked at coins our entire lives, but we haven't really looked at coins. And when people first start out, like everything unusual that they see or they hear about, like they get excited about. And
well,
so,
there's a lot of people who are, if you look at the bell curve of adopters, um, there's a lot of people who like to be the first in things, right? They like to have the first items. They like to be the first person to own an item. And then there are the people who like to be the first person to sell an item, right? They like to be the discovery person,
yeah,
because there's a little bit of fame that comes with it being the first person to identify something. So
that's it.
everybody's looking for something. Um, and the problem with that is there's so much misinformation out there
Mhm.
that, you know, the spitting horse or the leaky bucket. It's like they're just dye chips, folks.
The floating roof.
Yeah, it's
Hmm.
like, some of that stuff. Oh, I'm doing a couple of shorts that you're gonna like, Paula, but it might get me in trouble with some people.
I don't care.
So
Oh, that means I'll probably really appreciate it.
you'll like it. Yeah. Um,
Isn't that
so
terrible?
what I'm
It's so
what I'm gonna
terrible.
try to do. By the way, I got rid of my other audio software because I was sick and tired of it taking out so much stuff. It made me sound like an automaton. Um, so I went back to my old audio software. So it's not quite as clean,
Don't need
but it
fonts
sounds like
exist.
me again.
Exactly, Kinnemine. I saw what you wrote, and that was exactly right. That was exactly right. I can read you a portion of it if you want to hear it. You probably don't. I'd really like to
Hold
though.
on just a second. So let's see, Paula, where's mute? Okay, go ahead.
What? Never mind.
I'm teasing you. I'm just joking. Go,
Okay. Ida
please.
does that to me too.
No, because that was just funny. No, I
It's
want to
okay.
hear it. I enjoy perspective, and I
Oh,
I
there's
come
men
from.
in my house.
You and I have talked a lot about this. Um, you guys know that I am about information. I like giving good information. If I find out that I've given information that's bad, I'll remove it. I have no problem with that. But I can't stand these things, and the in COD we trust is everywhere. It's just it's annoying. Um, but what else is annoying to me is, and Paula, I love you, but some groups, like I went through yesterday, and every Facebook group I left, with the exception of Livecoin. People are so ignorant.
No, they are, and
I'm like,
it's
I'm
a
done.
struggle. It's something that a lot of people end up doing, right? A lot
Yeah,
of people want to help in the beginning, and then they just get so frustrated that they just leave, and I totally get that. It has taken me years to get to the point where I am able to just leave stuff alone, because I would literally spend an entire day trying to convince somebody that what they had wasn't what they thought it was, or and they would get nasty, but I didn't want to give up, and it's taken me
yeah.
years to be able to do that, to just okay, this person's not going to get it, so I'm going to move along. But if everybody gives up on those groups, I have left a lot of groups. Um, but if everybody does that, then nobody's ever going to learn. You know what I mean? So what you have to remember is that just because that one person isn't getting it, there are 50 other people at least in that group who are reading that what you are writing. They're reading that exchange and they're learning from it because they want to learn. Because a lot of people don't talk in those groups. They just read the posts
Yeah.
and they look at the pictures and they go, "Oh, that looks like what I have." So then they'll read the exchange that goes on. And and hopefully they're smart enough to know that they can pick up on keywords that somebody writes, and they can Google those keywords and usually find the right information by just Googling those keywords, those numismatic terms.
Hey, Sunday,
So
have
if
a great day. No problem.
Hey,
Watch when you can. I
Sunday.
appreciate you stopping in, saying howdy.
Hey, Sunday.
Yeah, and
But yeah,
I need to,
it
I need to, and I don't take it personally. I just like, I see somebody who posts something like, "Hey, I'm new to this. Do I have something that's like serious? You're an idiot." And it's like,
yeah,
why do you have to be such an idiot? Like, why do you have to be such a jerk? Like,
yeah.
now you can see the people that post all the time and they're kind of the trolls, and they're searching for answers and stuff. But man, there's so many just ignorant people, and it's like, look, we're if you're that ignorant, you're killing the hobby.
Some people just, as you were saying earlier, some people just want to see things burn. And
And
why do they do it? Because they can.
Well,
because they're given a platform.
most of the Facebook groups that I have stayed in, I am either a moderator or an admin because I have made it clear to the people that started those groups, if you want my help, I will help you, but understand that I'm not going to put up with people being rude or disrespectful or anything like that. And so I now have the ability to remove those people
Hmm.
from that group,
Yeah.
I
which
have the
needs
power.
it's right, I do, and it makes it, a lot more pleasant for everybody in that group. Those people don't belong in there. I'm not like trigger happy, so I don't like immediately do it, but you can it, after years of doing this, I can tell when somebody is going to be a problem.
Well, and yeah, and you can see some of these very, very quickly in the way that they phrase it.
Yeah.
They're not asking you a question, they're telling you what they know it is.
Yeah.
Um, and so you can see some of the language. But again, it's just one of those things where it's like, uh, I I left 3 groups yesterday, not because of the questions that were being asked, but the ignorance of the people in the group. Towards There was one lady that just was like, "I don't need this crap," right?
Mhm.
Mhm.
And she's like, "I'm trying to learn. I enjoy the hobby, but I don't need this crap. I'll take it somewhere else where people aren't a bunch of," and then, they blocked out the
Because there are a lot of egos. And ego comes out in abundance when for whatever reason when it comes to this hobby, like people truly they 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 get it, so they get it in their head. A part of what I wrote in this article is they get it, they find this coin and they post it instead of waiting and doing research and trying to find out if they really have something and doing it the right way. They will post this amazing find that they think they have in a million groups everywhere, and as soon as they get shot down, they go on the defensive because they've already had 50 other people who know either the same amount or less than they do telling them that it's this great find, they should have it graded, it's worth $1 million. So they're not going to listen to the people who will tell them the truth because they're already convinced that what they have is this amazing find.
Well, I was referencing more the people that respond to the posts, the people who are genuinely asking questions. Um,
Right, but
you
that
know,
that comes into play too because
yeah,
they will give them they will give them incorrect information because they wanna look like a hero or whatever reason, they wanna look like they know more than they know.
yeah,
They will just answer willy-nilly, they'll make stuff up. I came across that yesterday, this lady just making stuff up. She didn't even know how to spell die, she spelled it DYE, and she's just making stuff up. And then when those people are told to basically, shut it and stop giving bad information, then they go on the defensive because their egos are hurt.
yeah. See, I have this certificate on my wall that states,
Yeah, stop it.
Well,
Anyway,
hey, I always say I'm certifiable.
that's right.
"A dump
Certifiable.
bump."
But they're giving those. You don't have to pay for the course anymore for that. Anyway,
Woohoo!
I know everybody can. You can have a certificate, and you can have a certificate, and you can have
Oh,
a
that's
certificate.
horrible.
It's true. They're giving that course away for free now, which I feel kind of bad for the people that paid thousands of dollars for it originally, but it should be free education.
Hmm.
Anywho,
Yeah, too much fun.
The maple, 88 was the first year. 88 was the first year of the maple. Interesting. So anyway, it's I do address that because it's I want people to be able to read it and understand the root cause of it all and why they shouldn't believe everything that they hear on TikTok. I specifically named TikTok out of all of them just because I cannot stand that platform.
There's a
Well,
lot of people who don't like TikTok,
yeah,
and
it's a
for good
modern
reason.
platform. Yeah.
It is.
People have attention spans of a squirrel.
It is. And
Yeah.
what I've noticed, Kevin, is that a lot of people will go to TikTok now because they get immediate like thousands and thousands of followers immediately with no effort,
Hmm.
basically. And then they just bring them over to YouTube
Yep.
because they can start making money. So that's where you see a lot of these, the coin channel dude or whatever his name is. You see a lot of these people who are brand new. They'll come onto YouTube and they've got 1 million followers
Oh yeah.
because they brought them from TikTok, which does not really take a lot of effort to get a lot of subscribers or a lot of followers. They bring them to YouTube and then they get monetized and they start making money off of it.
And
And
they
so
bring their content over.
they bring
So
their content over. Exactly.
yeah, for
So,
them, getting 4 million short views on shorts is
yep,
nothing. So
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So don't be impressed by that when you see that immediately.
Well, no, and
Oftentimes, the best education, the best information you get are from smaller channels.
yeah, and I talk about this all the time, and one of the things with these bot style channels where they use AI, they don't proofread, they don't do whatever. They're kicking out thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of videos over and over and over and over again on 10, 12, 15, 20 different
Mhm.
platforms. They find one or two that work and they replicate it 50 times.
Yeah.
And one of them is going to take off because what they do, and I've got to make sure I state this correctly,
Yay.
is you set up an algorithm. So for instance, let's say that Silver Seeker puts out a video and Yankee puts out a video and we have Silver Dragons puts out a video and then Couch puts out a video, and they're all the same basic topic because of a news event about gold going up or silver going up or
Mhm.
something
Mhm.
being released. They use
Mhm.
similar tags. So if you follow on that coattail and you put those similar tags in there, you're going to get a little bit of a boost because they're trending. You got big channels doing it, they're going to be up there. So what these channels do, these bot style channels, is they have 50, 60, 70 platforms. They put out the basic same video across all these platforms. They find one that hits, they change all of their items to match the one that's taken off, and now it boosts. That one goes up even higher, and then the other ones start picking up views. So they artificially tweak the algorithm to lead to those particular items. Just because they have high views doesn't mean that it's valid or correct information. It just means that they've figured out and they know how to manipulate the system.
good morning, Ms. Windy Lady.
Good
So
morning, freaking awesome. Good
I
morning,
got
Wendy.
Paula. Did you see the short that I did on the lady who busted? And I'm just going to say it because you guys know I can't stand a bullion shark on their BS.
I did. I did.
Mm.
Yes.
I
Little
have
orphan
reached
Arnie.
out to her
Little
and,
orphan Arnie.
huh?
I said she busted little orphan Arnie.
I can't stand that little son of a
Carrot top.
lion horse crap running his mouth.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
just can't stand them.
That
So they
guy's a
called me
good.
the other day and they were like, if you buy 100 of these, and I was like, can I ask you a question? It's like, yeah. It's like, do you think I'm a bullion dealer? They're like, well, I guess so. I'm like, the fact that you don't know tells me a lot about your company. You guys call me over and over again. I have told you to remove you. The next time you guys contact me about bullion cells, the follow-up letter will be a cease and desist from my attorney. Here's my attorney's name. Do we have an understanding? And it was like, yes. And I said, do we have an understanding? This is being recorded. Do you understand that one more attempt to contact me, to sell me lies, to manipulate me into buying hundreds of coins that are not worth value? Do we have an understanding? And he said, yes, sir. Thank you. And I hung up. The very next day I saw this email or I saw this video from her. So I reached out to her and I'm going to interview her. One of her friends found this and he can't stand them either. But they have taken a number of her videos, and manipulated that. The one that I did, God, about a year ago, which was the one where it looked like somebody took a quarter and shot BBs at it.
Yeah,
And they
well,
said,
and they do.
Mhm.
And they do.
yep. And they said that this is a mint error. It came from the mint this way.
Yeah, right.
No.
And it's
no.
like, no,
Yeah.
no, lies, sack of lies. And it's just for views. So
Well,
she's
you
got
know
like,
why? Because
she's got like
somewhere
2.5
along
million views on that thing.
somewhere along the line, they saw a picture or something of a Vickers hardness test or something like that, where it's a tiny little circle that yeah, and they don't pay enough attention to know the difference between that and a BB.
Yeah. So ATS was the person who sent that to me. Thanks, ATS. I was struggling to remember who sent that to me. Thank
Yeah,
you.
their information is garbage.
Oh, it's
Mhm.
Their
horrible.
information
Yeah,
is garbage.
And
So,
I have done this for over a year, Paula, you know, that I have taken little
Mhm.
snips, and they have removed almost every video that I'm in. Like they've taken away permissions. Like I tried to post it and then they'll strip it. They'll take it down. YouTube doesn't allow it. They've changed the permission settings so that I can't do it. There's 2 of them that are still up, and I shared those with her, and she went back through and she's like, "Yeah, this is a problem." So I'm going to try and interview her. She's extremely busy, and I want to talk to her about what she does. Now she does amazing coin rings and stuff like that. We'll talk about how she determines what kind of coin she's going to use, what the benefit of it. So it's
Mhm.
something that's coming up, and I want you guys to be aware of it. But I was so freaking happy when
I
I
have
saw
coin
that.
rings.
I
I
was
have
like,
coin bells. I love those.
yes,
I think
Victory.
just well because it's like, look, if you guys do bullion and you guys do bullion well, that's fine. But you guys are spreading lies and deception, and you're getting
of course they
busted for it.
are.
I am
Mhm.
so happy.
Of
So
course they
happy. And
are.
I told her, I said,
gave
I've
you
done
guys
2 videos on this. And I sent them to her and I said, here, go look. But they are crooked. They're horrible. I will not do business with them. Like they're a terrible company.
Well, the funny thing about that is that he says that that quarter is worth whatever amount of money that he said that it was worth, but he doesn't
$750 or something like that.
Doesn't say
nowhere
why.
nowhere in the video does he say why.
No.
Nowhere in the video does he say why. And that's a key for you guys. If you are watching a short or a video and that person tells you that this mint error blah 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 is worth so much money, but they don't tell you what the mint error is or how it happened during the minting process, it's garbage.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So just
It's trash.
assume that it is not true and move along.
Yeah.
Because they just want your view. That's it.
There are people, and so again, there are certain things, and I understand mistakes happen. People
They're
are
trying to steal
careless.
my
They don't pay
coins. I know
attention.
exactly,
That stuff
Dan.
happens. This is blatant. This is all about getting clicks. This is all about it's a money grab. That's all they are. They are a money grab. They're using lies and deception and deceit to further their pocketbooks. That's all this company's
Yeah.
about.
It's redirection in order to get the clicks, and the
Yep.
clicks are what are paying them.
Yep. And
That's all they
it's
care
lies.
about.
And they know it. They don't care. There's no integrity. And Paula, Uh, Kevin, were you in the military at all?
No.
Okay. So when I talk about core values, right? Paula and I have talked about this, God, a number of times. In
But
fact,
Kevin has very strong morals and is an
oh no,
honest,
no,
very
no, 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 no. I understand, but there's something about core
But
values,
there's
right?
something that comes from the military that, yeah.
oh
Yeah.
yeah.
And
It's a
so much to the fact that both Paula and I have agreed. Well, I should say Paula agreed, and then I agreed with her. Like I wouldn't buy the Air Force medal because they didn't have the stuff correct,
yeah, I didn't buy it.
right?
Mm.
And I
Um,
told them at the Tulsa show at the US Mint, I told them and they just like, they shrugged their shoulders. Whatever.
Ron Stewart is Bullion Shark. Bullion Shark were the people that were spouting the lies and doing that stuff.
Mm.
Um, but again, the core values, the primary core value across all the services, primary is integrity. And if you can't embody even an iota of integrity as a business, there's no way in hell I'm going to sponsor or support you. And when it is so blatant, the ball faced lies. Now, granted, I understand that there's an art to selling, right? Where you're not lying to people, but you're just not telling them the truth. That's a little bit deceptive. It's a selling tactic. I don't necessarily agree with it. These are ball faced lies. And that tells you about the integrity. That tells you about the moral compass of this company. They don't give a rat's butt about their customers. They are all about lining their pocketbooks. I absolutely 100% unequivocally will never buy a solitary item, watch a video. I block, I report every video. I can't stand this company. And I have a mission to just tell people how they're just horrible. And it's not defamation of character because they have proven it. It's live. They've been
It's not
caught.
defamation if
They've
it's
been
true.
called out. Right? Say that again, Kevin.
It's not defamation if it's true.
No, it's not. And so I absolutely I will not
Right.
tolerate that kind of stuff. And I
I
can't
learned
stand
that
behind
on
it.
Judge Judy.
Say again.
Said I learned that on Judge Judy.
What?
That it's not defamation if it's
It's not
true.
defamation if it's true. Yeah, yeah. Um, and so again, I used to be kind of PC and like I'm not going to say the name Bullion Shark. But no, not anymore. It's
He's been hanging around me too long. I took away his filter.
The give a damn's busted. Gotcha.
That's right. It
yeah.
is true. We have
Oh,
to
Ronald, that's funny.
we have to protect each other in this hobby, and we have to protect the new collectors.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Those need to
yeah,
be a priority because if we don't have new people coming into this hobby is going to die, and our every single one of our coins in our collections will lose value or become worthless. We have to promote this hobby and get new people in. And if they come in and immediately are scammed, then they just turn their back and they leave.
yeah.
So we have to call this stuff out. We have to protect people and each other.
Most
It's
definitely.
our
I mean,
duty.
bringing in new people that, and
Mhm.
especially the young, especially kids,
Yes.
YNs, we have to foster the youth because
Yep.
otherwise, we are going to go the way of philatetics. And
Yep.
I can never say that correctly, but
Coins will become the stamps.
yeah,
The
but I mean,
stamps die too.
Yeah.
stamp collecting was big up until the 80s,
Mhm.
but the thing is nobody passed on their knowledge of stamps.
Mhm.
And then the US Postal Office just started making all these commemoratives and made it impossible to collect. So,
Yep.
Yeah, and most of them are just average. There wasn't we lost and I see this in coinage too. Um we lost well, let me quantify this. I have a daughter who's an artist, okay? So I love art. I am not
mhm.
knocking the medallic artists. I am not knocking the people who design the coins. But the people who select them, the people who choose what's going to be there, I have issue with some of the things that they select.
Yes.
And
Mhm.
Mhm.
so I want to be very clear that I'm not knocking the artist or the quality of their craftsmanship, but the selections are what I have a problem.
Well, if you watch the CCAC meetings, you will notice if you watch them from, well, I don't know how far back they go, how available they are from like way before all this DEI stuff came into play. But it is very much into play in our selection of our coin designs right now. It's too much into play. I understand
Mhm.
that they don't want to leave they don't want to leave people out, they don't want to leave groups out, things like that. But they are selecting things solely based on that, on race, on whatever. They're selecting things solely based on that, and overlooking other things that deserve to be on there more.
Yeah.
And it's going to affect the hobby, because this stuff that's going on right now will fade out. It's going to die out. People are going to get bored of it. They're going to get tired of it. They're going to realize that planes are crashing because they didn't select the best people for the job. I, I mean,
Yeah,
that's
the
extreme.
doctors who got
That's
a D
extreme.
in
That's right.
pathophysiology who are
That's
now
right.
yeah,
People,
yeah.
that's right. Think
Mhm.
bad things are starting to happen, and there's consequences. So it will fade out. It will eventually go away. I truly believe that. And I could be wrong, but I firmly believe that that's what's going to happen.
But no,
Well, and
the
if we don't get the morality back in our nation,
That's right.
we're gonna do what Rome did. So
That's
mhm.
right. Can I just mention something real quick that
yeah.
I'm a little excited about, because you guys know that I'm really excited about that flowing hair metal
Thanks
and
for the
and
hold
the
on real
coin.
quick. Thanks for the sub, SBA. I appreciate the new subscription. Thank you so much.
Nice.
Sorry, go
I'm
ahead,
really
Paula.
excited for this flowing hair metal and coin, even though I won't be able to afford the coin. I'm excited for it. I think that this is a step in the right direction, and I hope they continue this idea of the bringing back the classic design.
So I
Anyway,
didn't get to listen to the whole thing, but they were talking about and I the more I watch them, the more I really like um their kind of corny humor. Coin Show podcast.
oh, I love Matt
Oh
and Mike.
yes.
And so
I love
I mean,
Matt and Mike.
now I know
But
they're
but
knowledgeable. They're a little
they
quirky, but
they
you
did
know,
not mention what I'm about to mention. And I'm actually surprised. I tried to get them to. I put it in chat. Maybe they're not aware of it. So, on top of these beautiful medals and coins that they're going to be releasing on October 15th, if you go look at the US Mint website, there will be 1794 of these medals struck with a special privy
interesting.
that it says 230th. And out of those, like 230 of them will have go along with some assigned COA by Ventris Gibson, which
So does this
some
mean I
people
have
care
to
about,
sign
some people
back
don't.
into the US Mint so that I can try to buy one of these damn
It's up
things?
to you. It's up to you. But it's kind of an Easter egg hunt. You don't know if you will be getting them a plain medal or a medal with the privy. So I don't care. I mean, I do. If I get the one with the privy, I'm gonna be forced to sell it. So I'm almost hoping I don't, because there's only gonna be 1,794 of them with that privy. And let's face it, as mundane as you think that may be, there will be a high premium attached to those.
I would
Yep.
not I would not sell that initially.
Oh no, I won't sell it initially.
No, I would hold on to
But
that for
I
quite some
also
time.
won't hang on to it too long, because it could go the other way. People could be like, who cares?
Yeah,
But
I that thing would immediately go to CAC grading.
I'm not a gambler.
Yeah, that thing would immediately go to crack grading and
But so it's exciting,
Actually,
especially for those.
I'm working on picking up one that's already graded. So
Nice. So and that may be the way to go. With the privy,
Honestly, I'll
Out.
take with it being 75,000 of the vintage overall,
Yeah.
and with it being household order limit of one.
One,
The
right?
way
They
I
reduced.
figure it is, I'll try to get a couple of friends so that I can pick up some for inventory. But for personal collection, I just want to have one.
Yeah, 230 of the privy marked ones, Eric. 230 of, so there'll be 1,794 of them that are privy marked
And
with
230 are signed.
230th, yeah.
Are they doing
And
a
then
are they doing a
200.
thing for the dealers? Are the dealers gonna be able to get these in bulk?
No,
Nope.
these are not a bullion. No, 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 no. 230 of those 1,794 will also come with a signed COA. So there's 3 possibilities that you could get there. But I think it's kind of, I think it was kind of exciting. I do think it was kind of exciting. Now, I know that they were there were bugs put in the mint director's ears about doing something special with a privy mark, or for the for the Great American Coin Hunt or something like that. So maybe this sparked an idea to put a special privy on these flowing hair metals. I don't know. Maybe they finally got the word that these had quite an interest level, more so than I think they expected, because it kind of late in the game, I think people got really excited about these.
Well,
But
up until 2 weeks ago, there was no information out.
you're
I mean,
right.
yeah,
Hmm.
you really had to go hunting around just to find out that there was 75,000
Yep.
of the mintage,
So here's the
and
information. I
it
got it
was
up on
still
screen.
household order limit of 5 at the
Yeah, they
time.
reduced the household order limit and everything. Yep. Which I'm kind of upset, because I was going to pick up 2 of them, but I may try to find a way around that. I don't know, but
I am so looking forward to trying.
I I
You
don't
just
think
you
if
just
you
have an
guys.
account for your PO box. You have an account for your home. You have an
I know
account
I
for
don't have
your
a PO box.
brother's house, and
I need to
yeah.
get a PO box, but I do suggest to you people, because I like the way the U.S. Mint has been doing this waiting room. And I have not had one single problem ordering anything that I've wanted to get since they employed that. But I
Hmm.
do suggest getting on there immediately when it releases at 9 Pacific, noon Eastern, immediately, and getting into that waiting room. Because
Yes.
once your number is queued up, once you're in there, you're in there. Now you only have a certain amount of time to put it in your basket and check out, but you're not going to run into these problems like before, where you get the what was it,
Bad gateway.
yeah, bad gateway thing. You're not going to run into that problem. So
Yeah.
it comes out on the
Yeah, they
15th.
actually listened about the problems with the website. They
And
Yeah,
this is the
they
actually
privy
did.
listened.
mark.
They actually implemented something.
Hmm.
So there's the privy
That's
mark
the
that they're talking
privy.
about. Yeah.
Now that's nice.
It is nice. I like this little scroll. Hmm.
Yeah, this is
No,
pretty
that's
good.
perfect. It's
And
nice.
it's the 230th anniversary of that design. So,
It's not ostentatious. I mean, it doesn't
mhm,
detract. So I mean,
mhm.
yeah, I mean, no, that's cool.
Yeah, I do like it.
I have an idea, Paula.
Hmm.
I'll talk to you about it offline.
Okay.
Okay. I'll talk Kevin, if you want to hold on when I end the stream,
Yes,
because
Okay.
sir.
I have an idea.
So yeah, I haven't seen a lot of information put out there about this. So speaking of, if you want to be first, you may do a little video about it. I don't know. I'm not going to, because I'm lazy. But yeah. So you're welcome.
Yeah. I do like the privy mark. I'm just so looking forward.
And it
Uh
looks like they reduced. Was it always 104 or was it 105? I can't
It
remember.
dropped $1. It was
Yeah.
105 for a while.
I think it. Yeah, I think it did
Yeah.
drop
Yeah, it
$1.
was 105.
Yeah. It dropped $1.
So there you go, and it's beautiful. I mean, it is beautiful. It may be most of us. It may be the only chance we have to have a flowing hair coin in our or metal in our collection. Now the gold one is actually a coin, and I think it's a is it 1/10? I can't remember. 1/10 of an ounce.
Gold coins.
No, you'd have to. I think you have to go to the product schedule and then scroll down. I don't know that they even have the information on it yet. There it is. Yeah, they don't have the information on it.
Yeah. No
So
details yet.
keep an eye on it. I don't.
Yeah,
It
for
looks
sale November what?
right.
They did say that.
November 14th.
November 14th. Okay.
Okay, you got a month.
So I'm surprised they don't have the information up then.
I know.
Household limit 1, but I'm surprised that they don't at least have the product limit and mintage or or the weight or some information on it.
Well, hopefully the product mintage isn't 1,794.
They may be holding out because of the way gold has been doing.
Oh yeah.
ATS,
but
they haven't said
couldn't-
anything on the gold yet, so I don't know if they're going to have any Easter eggs. They might do the same thing, but I would expect that they wouldn't because it's a coin. Coins and metals are so there's legislation on a coin that has to meet certain criteria.
But apparently not with privy marks. Because they did on the ASE. Now, I don't know if it's because it's a bullion coin, but it's still a coin. They did not have to put any legislation through to put that little star privy.
Interesting.
On
I wonder if that's one of the
it might be one of the allowances that the director has.
Yeah, that's afforded the mint director.
Yeah, because she always says that she doesn't have much allowance, but that might be one that she does have.
I think I'm going to email Mike and ask him to ask her that question when he interviews her. Because I know that he is interviewing Ventress soon.
Yeah, see, that's what I was going to refer to earlier when we started the conversation, but we scrolled into this. They've got some really good interviews lined up.
If you guys go to their YouTube channel, the Coin Show Podcast, and you click on their videos and go to oldest, you will see that those guys have been around a long time, and they have interviewed some amazing people in this hobby.
I've been listening to them since they were audio only.
Right? They are. I love those guys. We've had them on the show a couple times. Mike more than Matt. Mike would come on every time we went live, I think, but which I'd be fine with. I love that guy. And Mike is also on. If you like ancient coins, please consider subscribing to Aaron Burke.
Yep.
He does the Ancient Coin podcast.
I'm actually trying to see if I can get him on.
I don't get to catch them very often. Every time I get notified, it's like right after they've finished.
Robert Pintoff, the 230 on this is the 230 years.
Yeah,
230th anniversary
of the flowing
That's
hair.
what the 230 is.
Well, same here, Paula, on the Ancient Coin podcast. I don't know if they actually do a live or if they just post.
Aaron Burke does lives.
Yeah, he does a live because I think I've chatted in his live.
He's been on a couple channels. I know that he's done stuff with.
No, he has his own.
Yeah, he has his own channel, but I know he's done stuff with other channels as well.
I don't know if he's done them. Yeah, well, easy enough to check.
Yeah, go to YouTube and just go to Aaron Burke.
Yeah.
And then go to his lives and you'll see his podcast.
because he's done stuff
with
with Long Live Coins, and Long
Mike,
Live Coins has been
Oh
on.
yeah.
Yeah,
because Mike is on with him on his
yeah.
podcast.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
So he does a lot of cool stuff. And Ancients is one of those things that I really like, but I know nothing about.
Same here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're really cool, but
Yeah.
I will not go down that rabbit hole
Yeah. Aaron
because,
has nothing under lives.
hmm,
yeah. Well, I know he does lives on other channels.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, like I
But
said, he's done a
hmm.
number of items with Long Live Coins.
but
So
episode 52 of the Ancient Coin Podcast went live 3 days ago.
yeah,
So he just tapes them.
Yeah, he just posted them. But I mean, even
But he's a great guy too. He is super nice, super down to earth, very, very approachable. I think his channel just hit 100K.
yep, he's at
yep.
So
101K. I've got it pulled up right now.
he should be getting a play button.
Yeah, he does
But
some amazing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we need to support these people. And I want to say, especially the younger, not that I'm old or anything, but these some of our experts in the hobby are getting up way up there in age. And if we don't get younger people interested in becoming educators and have someone for these older experts to pass their knowledge down to, that also is going to be lost. We've
Yeah,
already lost a lot. I know that there is a lot of information out there that we will never get back because people have taken it to the grave with them, and that's unfortunate.
yeah, and the
So,
problem is again, you know, we do a lot of stuff, so we see videos and stuff of people, but there is something about, and this is where I always talk about Paula having been blessed with some of the mentors that she's had in her life and being able to
so
sit down
blessed.
and
Mm-hmm.
talk with some people and get some good
Mhm.
information. Um, there is something about the art of sharing one on one in a story, learning the stories, sitting down and really saying, okay, that's what
Mhm.
this is. No, that's not what I'm saying. When you watch videos, you don't always necessarily have the opportunity to get that direct feedback. And so we need people to sit down. I love being able to have opportunities to sit down and listen to. I still do it with vets all the time.
Mhm.
You know, sitting in the waiting room and they'll have the Korea. You know, I served in Korea, they served in Vietnam. And it was like, well, where'd you serve? And they're like, well, you know, it's like, no, you know, hey, I'm really interested in Korea. A lot of people, it's a forgotten war. A lot of people don't like, you know, to talk about it. And they start talking, and you realize they're able to impart so much wisdom, so much
Mm-hmm.
actual genuine history. Now, granted, it's for its point of view, so it's their perspective of it. But if you can get enough people to get the perspective, you start to be able to paint a picture of what actually happened.
Just like the Bible.
Yeah. And so it's one of those things where, but it's true. All right. It's one of
It
those
is
things where
true. It's very true.
you need to have people who understand this, and you need to be able to share and talk and go back and forth. And this is one thing
Matthew,
that I
Mark, Luke,
love.
and John, very much the same story
Yeah.
written by in
Mm-hmm.
four different perspectives.
Yeah. And so
So,
Yep.
why is that important? Well, because I I may be saying, oh, let's use Paula and Amanda. Well, no, we can't use Amanda because she doesn't talk very much. Um,
oh, you'd be surprised.
no, I'm just teasing her. Um, but we'll use like let's say Paula and Sean, okay? So they can tell me something almost the exact same way. And I
Mhm.
can sit down with Shay for 15 minutes and go, "Oh, got it."
Yep.
Because he happens to explain it just a little bit different in a way, or he uses a certain word that equates a history, a memory, and understanding of something, and I go, "Oh, this." Paula did that, and you know exactly what I'm going to say when I talk
Yeah,
about the
the
one thing
increased
that kind of like
machine
the
leveling.
light went off was
Mhm.
in Cuse, right? Going, it's kind of like a wave, and I'm like, "Oh, inverse proportion of the same," and it's so everything for the double die. I said it correctly, but it's backwards. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yep.
get it. So instead of a thickening, it would be a thinning. And I was like, I understood it. The only reason that happened is because we were having the conversation
Mhm.
and there was that feedback. We have to have that. Videos are great,
Mhm.
but that conversation is where those things are cemented. Um, and we just don't do that much anymore. We just don't
I
have those
think that that
conversations anymore.
happens throughout your entire life, through from kindergarten through whatever education level you continue on to. You will have teachers who you no matter how hard they try to make you understand algebra, you can't get it. And then you'll get a substitute or you'll get a tutor or somebody else who will explain it to you a different way and it just clicks. That kind of stuff will happen your entire life.
Yep. People learn all at all different levels,
And then
at
it
all
stays.
different
Mhm.
paces, in all different ways.
Mhm.
And yeah, I've had some great mentors. I've had some great people trying to teach me the coin business, teach me different facets. And some people, it's like, okay, I don't get it. Some people, it's like, no, that's perfect.
Mhm. And I've learned from people in the hobby. I've learned from brand new people coming in to the people who have been in it forever. The top people in the industry. I've and everywhere in between. You have to be willing to learn and you have to open your ears and listen and be willing to learn. But I've got little tips from people brand new. Hey, this is how I do something. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that makes perfect sense. Um,
Well, it's just a change of perspective
mhm.
can make things so much more clear.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. And this is why it's important that we have these kind of conversations. Um,
Yeah.
this is one reason, honestly, I love my Sunday live streams because we just talk. We talk about the
Yeah.
stuff that's going on and we learn about perspectives and we chit chat. We talk about what people want to talk about in the chat. We just kind of go through some stuff. Sometimes we do some education stuff like this morning. But most of it's just, hey, what's happening? What's going on? Let's discuss. And this is how we grow, right? And this is where we
Mhm.
learn how to agree to disagree. This is where we learn what people's thought process are. We learn what triggers Paula, so we know when to push her buttons.
Several things.
But again, this is how we continue to grow our community, and uh, I really enjoy I enjoy Sundays. I enjoy teaching and doing that kind of stuff and having fun, but I really enjoy Sundays and the general banter that we have. So, Kevin, if
But
you want to,
if you'll notice when I get triggered, 99.9% of the time, it's something that has to do with the people in this community or new collectors or something getting scammed or getting hurt or getting taken advantage of or getting incorrect information or somebody being treated badly. It's not usually something about me.
well, and so Pedro just said, especially on the most important things in life, people are unwilling to converse with someone who's political or religious or
Mhm.
philosophies that differ from themselves. And I say this all the time, and I'll
Love
say
that.
this every freaking stream if I have to. I don't have to agree with you,
That's right.
but if I want to be friends with you, it's important for me to understand who you are. That means that's an important statement. And the reason that it's important is because understanding what you are about. There are people in here who other people think are ignorant and rude, and it's not that they are ignorant or rude, it's that they're passionate. Okay. There are some people in here who are very, very quiet, but if you give them just a minute and you give them just a little bit of opportunity to kind of settle into their comfort zone, you're going to find out that they have a breadth of knowledge that you can't even fathom.
Hmm.
You're going to find people in here who have suffered from abuse, or people who have suffered types of abuse. You're going to find people in who have overcome addictions and problems within, things like post traumatic stress. And if you're
Yep.
just quiet for a minute and you let them get over the fact that they're frustrated by something, but they may not understand exactly what it is they're frustrated by, you can get to the crux of the problem. And most of the time, the problem isn't even the problem that they think it is. It's
Hmm.
something else that's plaguing them, something in their personal life or something of that nature. And it's just that thing that set them off. And we only find out these things by being peaceful, by being quiet, by allowing people to talk, not shutting people down. Sometimes you have to, but most of the times it's allowing people to express their concern and saying, you know what? I don't necessarily agree with that point of view, but now I understand where you're coming from. So now you and I can have a conversation on a different level. This is what grows community. This is what will better our nation. And we really need to get back to this because we have lost the art of just communicating. We just lost the art. So, and I'm a prickly person. A lot of people think I'm an ass, and I don't mind that, but I'm just passionate about what I do. And, you know, I I love Paula, and people, if you don't know where Paula stands, you just haven't listened to her.
That's right.
Just ask.
She just
Just ask. I'll
right.
tell
And
you.
so there's no rhyme or reason, right? Um, but it's the
I am
fact
an
that
open book for sure.
if you watch, oh yeah, 11 a.m. I've already told Coring Crew that I'm sending people over that I went a little bit long. I've already posted their links. I actually went into the
Yep.
stream and said I went a little long, but I'm sending people over. Um,
Okay.
but but yeah, folks, again, Kevin, thank you so much for coming up, man.
Well, no, man. Thank you for having me. This was a pleasure.
I would love for you to come up more frequently if you're interested. Um,
Yeah, shoot me the invite.
the
However, I
one
do
the
have
one
a
that you got today is specifically for panel members. I don't share it with anybody. It's just people that I allow to come up. So if you have time and you want to come up, just pop on in. Just let me know.
perfect. I'll save
Standing
that on
invitation.
my book. I'll save it in my bookmarks, and pretty much, I know next weekend I have shows of both days, but we can definitely see on other weekend days where I can come on up and join the fun.
Sounds like a good. Paula, love you.
Love you.
Thank you for coming
Love
up
you,
and
Miss
doing that.
Paula.
Love you. Bye, Kevin.
We'll see you later. I want to address one more question,
Are you
SBA
putting
fan.
me in the basement or what's going on?
Yeah,
Did
just
you
hold
want to
on a
talk
minute.
about something? All right.
Okay. I want to just address one more thing before I say bye. SBA fan says the one thing that frustrates me about the coin community is everybody complains about the mint, but no one will organize and do the work to pressure elected officials to change the laws for the mint. There are very specific coin acts that happen. There's legislation that has to be done, and one of the general basics of the general premises of the mint is that their single job is to mint money and not lose money.
And I
They're
think Ventress Gibson's the only elected official, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't she?
So the purpose for that, it's again, now when you're talking about the laws and stuff like that, there's very specific legislative acts that have to be
Mhm.
done. And we understand that, well, we want certain things done, and a lot of people get upset at the mint. I have the reason that I don't like the mint has nothing to do with the coins that they manufacture. It has to do with I could not for the life of me over a course of a year order anything from the mint other than mint sets. Everybody else was able to order and receive documentation, but every time something happened on my account, they would call me back and said it didn't work, it didn't authorize. They would ship it, they would have everything ready. I got confirmation of it. And then when it went ready to ship, they said, hey, we didn't have any more. You're back on back order. Hey, we refunded your money. You didn't get it. And it happened every solitary time for over a year. And I got fed up. I said, I'm done. Now, since then, there's been major changes at the Mint, and it might be something that I'm looking at um, doing to where I can go back and maybe look at this. I'm going to go back in to do this for the flowing hair because I really want to try to get this. But my problem with the mint isn't the mint itself. And I stated this earlier before. The problem that I have with the mint is some of the selections that are made. Now, we've expressed those, but there are other things that have to happen with that. And it does require people voting in. But again, we only have one person that's really voted in. The senators, the congressmen, House of Representatives, all those people who actually make the legislation, those are the people that we need to be reaching out to. We need to talk to our legislators. We need to talk to those people and let them know it's like, look, we understand that there's a requirement for money, but there's also a bunch of people out here that we call numismatists and coin collectors, and they're interested in seeing stuff and collecting things that preserve the history of the United States. Let's do stuff that people want to collect. So I appreciate that statement, SBA fan. I really do. It is a major issue where people complain but never want to offer a solution. And I'm not one of those people. If I'm going to complain, I'm going to offer a solution along with it. So I appreciate that comment very, very much. I wanted to address it, especially as a new subscriber. Thank you for commenting, and I do appreciate that. All right, folks. Well, I want you to do me a favor. I'm going to wrap this up. I want you to head over, say hi to Coin Crew. If you guys have plans, do that. But please pop over there, say hi, let them know that I've sent you over to them. Because
love you guys.
I appreciate it. Love you
Have
all.
a blessed Sunday.
Take
Bye,
care.
everyone.
Be well, be blessed, and I will see you guys